going and taking a shit or something?
No, I'm not getting out of it.
Oh, man. People are still confused about why people don't want to work. It seems like something that should be pretty self-explanatory. Work? Here we go. Oh, wait, can it not hear me? There we go.
Oh, there. Are you hearing me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
For a second, I wasn't hearing you.
Drop off.
Me.
There we go. Oh, there.
There we go. All right, we're both on there.
Boy.
Everything's working. Working. Okay, it's suddenly just really fucking warm in my room right now. Like 77 degrees for some fucking reason. Like the storm of the century has been going for quite a long time. Huh?
Is it fucking warmer than outside then, or?
I don't know. One of the weird things is my room is like super warm all the time. Like it doesn't fucking matter what I do. But right now it's definitely warmer than it is outside. Yeah, for 100% sure.
Oh yeah, it's fucking winter.
Yeah.
That's right. That's warmer than it is here.
It's
now.
probably like 60
like
degrees outside.
Well,
Well, it's not 60. It's probably like 65 or something outside. Because I mean, it is fucking California. Like, let's be real.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's like low 70s here. So it'd be kind of weird if it was warmer where you're at.
Yeah. Man.
Are we live yet or no?
Yes, we are.
Oh shit! All right.
We're not supposed to be.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I figured it's probably par for the fucking course, you know.
Yeah, nobody's listening anyway.
Get live and then figure out whether or not it's actually going through or whatever, you know.
Yeah. It's kind of important, I suppose.
Yeah. Man, I will tell you what, this fucking piece that I ordered is taking forever. I'm not real thrilled about that.
What piece?
I ordered a new Puffco Peak for doing dabs. And it was taking for fucking ever to get here. Like, it still hasn't shipped, and I ordered it almost a month ago. They're getting into, like,
pretty extreme.
Call my bank and have them reverse the charges territory.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, you know, they said there was going to be a long wait time, and I'm like, sure, because it said like 2 weeks. Well, that's well past that now.
Yeah.
But I am saving like
twice as long
probably like, I don't know, $50, $60 off of the standard price for it. Like, I found it at a pretty steep discount. So I'm inclined to be like more patient, like until at least a month has gone by. But I think after a whole month has gone by, it's going to be like, all right, well, good luck. I'm going to have my bank just take its money back, and there's nothing you can do about it. So,
yeah, maybe they want to. They screwed up and put a way too low price, and they're like, hey, let's just not ship it to them and let them fucking cancel the order.
Well, they could have also just refunded my order and said, sorry, we don't have that in stock. We decided to give you a refund, and then there's nothing I could have done about it.
Yeah, it would definitely be an odd way of handling it.
Exactly. Could not come after that for him at all. Can't wait. Oh, I did a horrible thing. There is a new cartoon called Velma that is supposed to be a reimagining of Velma from fucking Scooby-Doo, and I watched the first 2 episodes. I'm not a strong enough man to watch anymore.
It got like, it's been getting shit on even before it came out, like back when it was announced and shit. It's been shit on as woke trash since it.
I'm just trying to like. it's like being on drugs would be less confusing than watching it, if that makes sense. Because you would at least have an explanation for why nothing makes sense and everything is just happening. But like, they'll literally just say plot points as part of their dialogue.
Oh. So it's like they're doing the narration, but it's the actual characters doing the narration.
It's like, Velma and Daphne are used to be best friends and now they hate each other. And so, like, they're at the part where you're like, you're okay, how do I write the story so that they start to, like, get along all of a sudden? They'll just be like, oh, this is the part where I guess we start getting along despite our differences. Oh, yeah, that's what would happen in a movie. All right. Fucking what?
So there's, I mean, they're probably doing fourth wall breaking to an extent, I assume.
It's constant throughout the entire thing, but it's so badly done. I don't even. It's literally every major plot point. Like none of the characters have actually had a reason for anything they're doing. They literally just say a plot point anyway, and then do the thing that would happen at that part of his story.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you do it once or twice. Man, even twice is kind of pushing it. But yeah, if you're doing it with fucking everything, that's retarded. I mean, like,
Deadpool's a perfect example of how to do it properly, and that's not that long ago,
Yeah. Yeah. Deadpool was fucking great.
It's genuinely one of those things where you're like, what the fuck is happening? How did anyone ever watch this? Because like the only laugh the show got out of me was one where I was just like, is this really happening in front of me? Like where it's not funny. You're like, am I going crazy? Ha 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 ha.
You've good job, Velma show. You've made me question my sanity. That's fucking funny.
It's not a joke. It's like really what happened,
dude. Yeah, that's fucking nuts, dude. But yeah, again, I don't know if you remember when they first announced it or whatever. Like I think it was Mindy Kaling, that fucking Indian, like Indian bitch
that's really famous for some reason.
Yeah. Well, she's quirky or something. I don't know.
She's quirky.
But anyways,
that makes up for having absolutely zero talent and still being and everything.
Yeah, it's weird. It's fucking weird. But yeah, they did a thing where they came out and they were kind of mocking the audience. They're like, because it was her talking, and at some point she's like, because nothing's ever supposed to change ever on these shows. The internet will get really mad. Or it was something along those lines, dude.
Yeah.
And it was just like, all right, yeah, piss your audience off. That seems to be working really well nowadays. Alienate yourself from the fucking audience that like wants to see something like that.
Yeah, really. Well, and here's the thing, like, literally, like, everybody is a fucking racial stereotype in this show.
Wow.
Like, it's so difficult to describe. It's one of those things, like, I'd tell you that you have to see it, but at the same time, I would never want you to do that.
Yeah. What is it on, by the way? What is it on, like, a streaming?
I watched it on an alternative website.
Gotcha. Yeah. You don't want to support something like that.
Legally viewing the show. Yes, that's what I'm doing.
I gotcha.
It was so fucking... it is so hard to describe how bad this thing is, but it is genuinely one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's not surprising. I think everyone kind of
do not watch that. 0 out of 10. Please fucking
0 note.
Costs.
Even watching it ironically doesn't work. It's just fucking horrible.
No, it's not bad funny. It's bad, like, I don't feel okay anymore.
Yeah, that's questioning your sanity bad. That's really bad.
Yeah, no, and like I want that to be a joke, but it's really not. It's like I literally just like went into like almost hysterical laughter. I was just like, ha ha ha. Just fucking like, what the fuck is this?
Fuck, man, this show's gonna put me in a fucking padded room, dude.
Well, because you just sit there and you're like, why is any of this happening?
Right.
And then the
You're like, am I?
Oh,
Go
man.
ahead.
The funniest part is everybody's a stereotype in the entire show.
Yeah, it's very odd that seems to happen in these fucking woke shows, dude.
Yeah, like Fred is a white boy, so he's incredibly rich and like spoiled. Like they cut his food for him and shit. Like weird stuff that's like, no, that's not really like. I know this is a cartoon, but that just doesn't make any sense. Like that's not even like a stereotype that was ever really a thing ever for any reason. Like
yeah. What the fuck? Although I suppose there probably are rich people that don't cut their own food somewhere or have been at some point.
Yeah,
but
no
fuck,
doubt.
dude?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm sure that's really a thing. It's such a weird thing. Like, cause it's carried over to this extreme that like you just expect people to start screaming like "mammy," you know, like fucking. It's so ridiculously over the top.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just so far gone. It's bizarre. Daphne is an Asian who's been adopted by two lesbians who are detectives. And so she's, like, trying to find her real parents and has decided to deal drugs. I mean, it's...
Holy shit.
Shaggy's a super smart black guy.
Wow.
It's like there's just not even the same characters, you know, like they're completely different. And then Daphne and Velma are gonna like fuck or something, and they're killing people for real, like in the show.
Wow.
Yeah, like two people died by having their brains cut out, like the top of their heads fucking cut off, and their brains just fucking scooped out of their heads.
What the fuck, dude?
And you're like, that's not fucking Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo was always like a harmless, campy fucking thing, you know, like, what are you doing? Like, why would you just take it to this, like, awful place? I don't know, it's so
yeah,
gross.
No, it's, it seems like there's an entire generation of writers, maybe two generations, I don't know, but that seem to think that you have, well, they're just like, we must subvert expectations at every possible opportunity.
Yeah, they just want to destroy something. They're not doing anything to make anything. Like, they're incapable of making things.
Yeah.
Which is the weird part of it. It's like, you're not, all you do is just subvert expectations, but by the end, you don't actually have anything.
Yeah, well, that's subverting expectations just for subverting expectations' sake is like, you know what I mean? Like, if it makes a point or if it makes sense or whatever, it's fine. But like, just doing like, okay, we're gonna do the opposite. So now instead of being a fucking stoned out hippie white guy that's fucking half retarded or whatever, smoking weed or whatever, let's make him a black guy, and he's highly intelligent.
Oh, and he's desperately in love with Velma, but like, you know, Velma keeps like he confessed his love to her over the phone, and she started laughing hysterically at him.
Wow.
And you're like, wow, that's kind of fucked up, man. Like,
I'm assuming she's a lesbian, right?
Yeah. Her
Velma not a lesbian?
Daphne, yeah. Her Daphne and Velma are the romantic pair.
Of course.
Because, you know...
Although, I mean, Velma as a lesbian makes sense anyway, but it's not that much of a stretch. But
if it's done properly, I have no problem.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, but it's obviously something that
Velma
shoehorned in
like
because of fucking wokeness.
I do object to her being a stereotyped fucking farce of a lesbian.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I know that may sound weird, but it's like, I'd like it to actually be, like, worth reading. Or watching, or whatever format it's in.
Yeah, I suppose that's one of the main issues with all this woke bullshit. It's like, okay, we're just going to say what their identities are, and that's what's going to make them interesting.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work like that.
It's not at all interesting. It does not work.
Yeah.
No, it's just all they're doing is destruction, and you can tell that like that's all they want to do. And the end result is essentially that they haven't actually made anything.
Yeah, no, it's pretty much what happens nowadays. They take they take an IP that's established that has a fan base, and they're like, well, since we can't create, we don't have that fucking ability, like we have no fucking creative energy at all. So we're gonna destroy things that people like.
Yeah. Well, in order to have empathy and humanity, you have to have the ability to imagine things. To imagine like what it would be like if you were the one that was suffering under whatever it is that you're doing. Like you had to, like if that was being done to you. And that's why these people have no empathy. They have no imagination at all.
Yeah, they're fucking all.
They're incapable of understanding like what they're doing hurts people and how it hurts them.
Yeah.
It's just beyond them because they can't imagine anything that's not them being perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're pretty much happy about it. I mean, it does seem to be their goal.
Well,
we pissed all these fuckers off.
Sociopaths like hurting people. That's what gets them off.
Yeah. They love to fucking destroy and fucking.
It's usually the only thing that makes them feel good. Is hurting other people.
Yeah, it's so fucking sick, dude. God damn.
That's why I honestly like the cure for sociopathy should be just like death.
Yeah. Or
like why
would you
get
them all fucking an island somewhere and let them all be sociopaths to each other?
No, because then eventually find a way to destroy the rest of the world just for the fucking like getting their dick hard. Like there's some people that are just evil and have to be put down. Like, and it's not an evil that they're like, there's animosity in it because there is no emotion to their evil. It's just their nature.
Yeah.
Like, by nature, they are evil. And it's like,
it is pretty.
You just have to eliminate that from society. There's no other way to like solve it, really.
Yeah, it is an existence that's worse than worthless.
Well, I
like
think
at least worthless is like not causing any harm.
Yeah.
So literally worse than worthless.
Well, and the thing is, it's like you can't coincide with the monster. You know what I mean? Like I think that's the problem we're reaching right now is people are becoming more and more aware of what's going on and realizing that like societies in general, we have like these evil monsters that are controlling a lot of the stuff from behind the scenes. And it's occurred because we have tried live and let live for so long, and I just don't think that really works. Because like if it worked, then
not when people are out to destroy shit.
Yeah, we wouldn't have people trying to take away like guns and the right to free speech and your right to like have your own children and raise them as you see fit. You know, like as long as your kids are getting like educated in some way, shape, or form, so that they can do like math and science and all that stuff, you should be able to choose, you know, what values to instill in your own children. Like that's a normal.
Yeah, it should be a normal fucking thing. Yeah.
You know, and maybe we don't all have the same values, but part of the whole thing this country was based off of, and I think this is probably what made it start to fail like it's failing right now. Is that it's live and let live, and it's like you can live and let live with a certain number of people, but certain things you just can't live and let live with.
Yeah. Certain shit you just can't allow to fucking roam free.
Like Islam is not a religion you can coincide with.
Yeah, it's designed to take over.
Sooner or later, its goal is to take over. That's the way it's designed. You can't. Like I think Japan has it right. You just don't allow it in your country at all, or it'll subvert your fucking people against you. I mean, for God's sakes, you have like gays and lesbians being like, Muslims are beautiful and wonderful people, and it's like they would throw your ass off a roof to your death.
Yeah,
Do you not?
literally,
Like,
it's what they do.
it happens every day in those countries, and you still think, like, for some reason, like,
That's not real Islam. It's the same thing with the communism. That's not
yeah.
real communism. That's not real Islam.
Yeah.
Islam is a religion
The
of
no
peace.
true Scotsman fallacy is always fucking alive and well, forever and ever. Always will be. Gotta love the fucking. Yeah, that's one of those things that's really just maddening. You're like, you show somebody like 20 examples of communism failing because there's a fucking ton. And they'll be
Yeah,
like,
pretty
yeah,
much
but that
all of
wasn't
them.
real communism. And you're like, you're not incapable of having a conversation or a discussion or a rational debate. Like, they're not.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like those people that are
Yeah,
like,
that's
women should
definitely
be
been
charged
happening.
because vagina. And it's like, have you seen what happens when they are? Like, we
Yeah, yeah.
have examples of women running nations from the get go, and none of them got out of the Stone Age. It's just
Yep.
reality. So sad. Man, I
Yeah, no, it's
despair for the fucking children that are growing up with fucking doggerel like this on there. You know what? This is like, I get Velma was so bad. I understand why kids watch Spider-Man and Elsa. Because this is your fucking other choice.
yeah,
Yeah,
when the
Spider-Man
alternative
and
is
Elsa might be weird, but like, those are understandable things. Man and a woman fall in love. Man saves woman. Woman ends up pregnant. Like, these are all things that are like normal storytelling things that you see in a regular story. And it's not that kids are
yeah,
fucked up. It's that their other options are so bad that this like
yeah, and so out of touch with fucking
weird,
reality.
bizarre, fucked up concept of normal traditional storytelling things is what they resort to. Because there's fucking Velma to watch on TV, you know? Like,
Yeah, it's pretty fucking scary, dude. So much shit is so fucking trash, dude. It's literally like a good 90% of everything that comes out, if not more, is just fucking trash,
well,
dude.
this is supposed to be like a children's cartoon, like the Velma thing. Like, the
Yeah,
violence
yeah,
is even kind of spoofy and goofy looking. But, like, you know, one of the big things is, like, Fred hasn't gone through puberty yet. Like, he's so coddled by being rich that he hasn't fully gone
wow,
through puberty yet, so he has a tiny dick, and that keeps getting brought up.
wow, what the fuck, dude?
They're talking about, like, oh, you know, sluts are so awesome, you know, like that kind of shit.
Yeah, yeah,
There was this whole opening shower scene to open the show where like a bunch of cheerleaders and like Daphne and everything are all getting naked in the shower, and it's like, you know, bubbles and suds are covering their stuff, but it's still pretty graphic for a fucking kids show.
right,
And
yeah, yeah,
fucking like they're talking about, oh, you know, isn't it awful that, you know, in these silly TV shows they always exploit like the, you know, young teen girls by making them do like incredibly explicit sexual stuff in order to like draw people in the first you know, episode of any series. And then
right,
that girl says that, and then one of the girl will be like, oh, I don't know, I kind of like when that happens because I'm a skank or something, and like just admit that we're all perverts or whatever. Tries to get the other one to make out with her or something stupid. It was just like, fuck.
yeah. It's just fucking nonsense shoehorned in for no fucking reason.
Well, it makes no sense in any context, and then it's like, this is just like, I guess, to get people interested in watching the show. I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense why people like Tarantino are like, yeah, I'm just not gonna make films.
Well, you know, at a certain point, yeah, like I can see that because, like, you know, the studio's not going to let him keep doing what he wants, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
sure
because
the
one of the
stuff
things
that
I
he does
like.
would definitely be seen as racist or problematic in some way, shape, or form.
Well, it's one of the things I like about like Tarantino movies is there's always at least one scene where they're having a conversation that you can imagine having with people. You know
Yeah,
what I
where
mean?
it's not ridiculous.
Yeah, like is it Reservoir Dogs, the one where they're talking about like a virgin and what it means or whatever? I think that was Reservoir Dogs.
I don't know.
But yeah, they're talking about that, and they're basically arguing about that. It's like about a girl, she's been fucked over sometimes, then she met this nice guy, and then like Tarantino's character, he's like, no. What happened, what she's talking about is meeting this big fucking John Holmes motherfucker with a huge cock. And when he fucks her, it hurts. It hurts like the first time she got fucked. You know what I mean? Like it's a little off, but you can still imagine that conversation happening somewhere. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
can definitely see having that conversation with somebody at some point, for sure. It's how grown-ups talk.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
this
Well,
weird,
especially
like,
men. Men
pretense
love fucking
of,
hypothetical.
yeah. Oh, yeah, like half the fucking, superhero conversations are like, wouldn't the Hulk's dick, like, rip up the fucking any girl he tried to fuck, or...
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Like, they make fun of that in the movies, but it's like, nah, that's real. Like, that's what nerds do. They sit and talk about sex, because it's what everybody talks about, you know?
Yeah, they're actually Mallrats. That reminded me of Mallrats, where they're having a discussion about
Oh,
Superman.
yeah. He's super fucking obsessed with... Well, he's a whole different level, though, in that movie.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's a fucking. The character is a fucking comic book nerd, obviously. But yeah, they're talking about how Superman couldn't bang regular chicks because, like, when he jizzed, it would literally blow their back out.
Yeah, those are
He's
involuntary
like, oh yeah,
muscles. That's
no, it
actually
could.
a very legitimate argument. Like, as silly as it is,
Right.
it's like his level of strength is so high that, like, that's an involuntary muscle spasm. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, it's literally gonna tear a woman apart, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's not gonna
He's
end up
like,
fucking somebody up inside.
yeah. Then he's like, only Wonder Woman has a strong enough uterus to take Superman. You know, the only way he could bang regular chicks is if he wore a kryptonite condom. That would kill him.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know about that part, but yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's fucking silly, but, you know, it's a hypothetical that they're discussing.
Yeah, that is exactly, that's the fun of it. It is a hypothetical that makes it fun.
Yeah, nowadays they're like, no, let's just have them say a bunch of weird shit to each other for no fucking reason. Other than to fucking freak people out for, again, no real reason.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is, yeah. What is it? Didn't, like, the fucking Incredible Hulk, not the Incredible Hulk, She-Hulk have the whole fucking twerking scene with some fucking black rapper chick?
Yeah, I've seen parts of it. I haven't actually seen it.
So, of course, they're going to, like, do a butt-shaking dance, because you can't be a black lady and not do a butt-shaking dance in the middle of a fucking lawyer's office.
Yeah.
Even though it's incredibly unprofessional and inappropriate, and, like, not the fucking place for that.
Yeah, a lawyer start twerking with her black client.
You know, and also, like, any black lady that goes to a lawyer's office is just gonna have to start twerking at some point. It's like, look, like, hello, if you guys are searching for racism, I found it.
Yeah, they seem to be especially gifted.
And nobody's saying
creating
like, it's
racist
wrong to
shit.
do a butt shake dance. Like, if you want to go out and twerk on the dance floor on your time off, that's fine. Just like, people don't do that shit in the middle of their fucking attorney's office. That's not when you do. That's totally unacceptable. You know, you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's, again, you got a woke show. It's going to be fucking having some condescending race.
Yeah. That is one of my like the more interesting things in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like really, really blatant racism in all these shows and stuff, and you're just like, you guys just don't see it at all, do you?
Yeah, it's bizarre, dude. It's like, yeah, they go out of their way to play up the fucking stereotypes and shit, and you're like, dude, how do you not see that this is fucked up?
Yeah, it's like you want to berate me because I said the N word at some point because I was having a discussion with somebody in regards to that word,
Yeah, yeah,
and now here you go doing something like a million times as racist, and I'm supposed to like just not notice, or what's the deal? Like, how does this?
yeah. It's fucking insane, dude.
Well, you know what the thing is. I guess you have to be focused on race when nothing else is supposedly affects the way a person is as a person, like their value as a human in their mind, because like that's sort of like how the hierarchy is created. That's why so many kids are getting into that trap of transgenderism.
Right,
It's
right.
because you're supposedly worthless if you're just like a regular white kid, or you're even if you're just like a regular minority. If you're not like some sort of special super minority, like you don't count.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely does seem to be incentivized, doesn't it?
Well, that's what That's
Yeah.
you hear the transition, the people that are detransitioning.
Oh, dude,
It's
man,
almost
that
all.
man left just fucking. I don't know if they despise anybody more than people that decide to not stop transitioning.
Oh well, they
It's
despise
fucking
anybody that tells the
bizarre.
truth, just in general. Like if you're exposing reality and it's not comfortable and it doesn't line up with what they already have decided is true,
Yeah,
you're a
yeah,
horrible person and you should just be fucking murdered.
yeah. If it's like a dude and like, oh, I thought I was transgender, but I think I'm just a gay guy, or
Yeah,
maybe just an effeminate straight guy. So,
yeah.
oh, you're the fucking
I
devil.
worked with this dude that was super super fucking like. If you didn't know he had a wife, you'd have been like, yeah, dude, your dude's definitely gay. But he'd been married for
Yeah,
like 30 fucking years, straight as an arrow, just extremely effeminate.
yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah. Those people again, well, not anymore, but yeah. First couple times I came across someone like that.
Eh?
Now,
And he's a
I
nice
know it
guy.
happened, so
I liked working with
yeah,
him. He always did.
yeah.
He never fucked his job up. He always had shit done right. Which was very appreciable in a purchasing officer for a factory. Essentially, like it's like we always had what we needed to work with because this dude knew how to fucking do his job. So it's like obviously nobody had any issues with him for being effeminate. Because we're not like fucking 12-year-olds and we're all adults working together.
Hmm. Yeah, it's crazy how that. Yeah, actually, the dude that works at the medical office, the doctor's office that I go to for my Suboxone, is my ex goes to the same one, and she was talking about like him and his wife or whatever was going on with them. I'm like, he's straight,
Mm?
and I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, no, I thought for sure he was gay too, but he's not.
Yeah.
He's a good
Some
dude
people
though.
just read that way for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, well, again, if you're effeminate, you kind of, if a dude's effeminate, you kind of assume he's gay because
Usually it's
that's
the
generally
case.
the case. Yeah.
Well, yeah, people get mad at some stereotypes, but some stereotypes are just like, I mean, it's 90% of the time it's accurate, so.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's plenty of fucking manly guys that are gay. So, same shit.
Some chick is like at the hardware store buying a bunch of stuff and she's super fucking butched up, and you're like, she probably eats muff, Like, it's no big deal.
Right. But, yeah, it's like kind of surprising if she doesn't, but it's not like, oh, wow.
Well, the thing is, nobody
She's
cares.
clearly denying her humanity or something.
Nobody gives a shit. That's the thing that I think people don't understand. It's like, yeah, people judge based on these things because they don't really care. Like, it's not nobody's like mad that she's a lesbian or not a lesbian. They're just like, oh yeah, surprising. I guess I was assumed. Oh well, my bad. And then they just and they move on with their fucking day. Like.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody gives a shit if they're fucking gay or straight or whatever.
Huh. Like, be what you want to be. Just,
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, obviously, previous generations, that shit wasn't like an issue for, well, at least a higher percentage of people. But yeah, I don't know anybody under. I would say like the age of 50, maybe even higher. A vast majority of people under the age of, we'll go with 50, don't give a shit if people are straight, gay, white, black, fucking whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It just doesn't matter.
I meant under
The
50. I
people
think
that
I
are
said over
the people
50.
that are creepy to me are the ones who are like obsessed with it, like where it matters so much. It's like, oh, dude, all right, like.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a fucking main issue in society today, really. Is too many people are fucking obsessed with that fucking nonsense, dude. It's like, yeah. It seems like you would be better off just not, not assuming anything about anyone because of whether they're gay or straight, trans,
Yeah.
non-trans, fucking black, white, yellow, brown, whatever. But that seems to be all that's important to these fucking, I don't know, last couple of generations anyway.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah.
Well, and like, how fucked is that? That like we've essentially created a society at this point where cutting your genitalia off is an acceptable fucking solution for dealing with a bully. Like, we've raised such weak fucking children that like the idea of like punch that motherfucker in the face.
Right.
Like, that's how you deal with a bully. You punch that motherfucker in the face, and then you fucking probably should kick him a few times when he's down, because he's gonna be really mad when he gets up, and you don't want that. You know, like, that's just not a good plan. You know.
Yeah. Make sure the bully doesn't view you as an easy target.
You might have
Yeah, even if you get your ass
by
kicked.
pure fucking surprise, and it's not. You want to capitalize on that shit. You don't want to fucking take that risk.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be like, I'm going to be a gentleman with this guy back up, even though he's way bigger than me. Yeah. Fuck him up, dude.
Yeah, you definitely want to be careful with that one.
Yeah. He will move on to easier prey.
Yep, exactly. That's the thing. That is a very true point. Because a lot of times it just takes that one time standing up for yourself, and then they're like, this is just not worth it. I'm not going to keep doing, I'm not going to keep putting this effort in. If I'm going to lose, it's not worth my time. Even if you don't win sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're going to, if you're going to fucking fight back and not take a shit, like even if he's winning, he's going to be like, all right, well, there are other people I can fuck with that are going to let me do it and not try to fucking hit me back or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's generally how bullies work. They find people that are going to let them fucking bully them.
Yep. They find people that are weak and are allowing them to decide how they interact, instead of people who are gonna be like, no, I'm gonna fuck you up, boy.
Yeah, I'm not taking your shit. Fuck you.
See, that would be a great scene in a movie where Velma just starts whipping out the fucking karate and beats the shit out of some dude. Or that was actually one of the things in the live action movies that I enjoyed. Was Daphne was like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of being the one that's always in trouble and getting kidnapped and, held by the monster and used as a threat against you guys. So I went out and I fucking went and learned all these martial arts so that I could be a bad motherfucker and fight back, Like, oh, yeah, that's cool.
Indeed.
And that's more of like how you do women, female empowerment more correctly, in my opinion. So they actually like, this character did something to deserve that power or ability.
Yeah,
To make it, then it makes it more satisfying. Especially if they were weak to start with. Because everybody loves rooting for the underdog. Like, that's just kind of like just normal human nature. You're like, oh, that boy just keeps getting picked on because he's weak and he ain't getting no pussy because the bully's always picking on him, making him look bad, even though he's a really nice guy. And people are like, I hope he fucking kicks that bully's ass one day. And then when he does, you're like, that was awesome. I'm really glad he did that,
Yeah, yeah. I know you're not big on sports, but yeah, that's definitely true in sports, dude.
Oh
Everybody
yeah,
is fucking will root for the underdog, especially if it's a good story.
yeah. If
You
it's
know,
if
it's
it's
why
like
the
the number one team versus the team that's like last place, and last place just somehow rallies and whips their ass. Even the people who
yeah,
are fans of the number one team are gonna be like, "Wow, it was pretty fucking cool, man."
yeah, yeah. No, it's the reason like the 1980 fucking U.S. hockey team like winning the fucking gold medal is such a fucking such a popular story even now. Because
Oh,
again,
I
the
bet.
Soviets were essentially a fucking, a professional team that had been together for years and years, and the U.S. team was made up of like college kids and fucking rejects that weren't good enough for the NHL and that kind of shit. It was all amateurs, and they should have had if they played 20 more times, they'd probably lose all 20 fucking times. But for that one fucking game, they fucking managed to beat these guys, the fucking one of the best fucking hockey teams ever, and win
they
the gold
had
medal.
they had their moment in the sun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
The moment where
there's
it
probably
all
like a
just
bunch of
worked
other
together the
fucking
right way, and everything was perfectly timed. And yeah, those are the
they
great moments.
against all odds.
I'm not a huge
Yeah,
sports person, but if I when I do watch games, those are the ones that are like I'm down with.
yeah.
Seeing like
Yeah.
the
I mean, it happens in like the college basketball tournament. You know, every year there's upsets that happen like that, and you fucking root for them that are still there after the first weekend or whatever. Like, wow, these people barely made it into the tournament, and now they're one of the last 16 teams left, or last 8 teams, or whatever the fuck. Everybody's pulling for them, other than obviously the fans of the good team that should be kicking their ass.
yeah. The fans of the good team were like, we fucking hate you. You're beating our team, but we grudgingly
Yeah, we
respect
don't.
you because you're still
Yeah,
like a shitty team, but somehow you're winning anyway.
yeah. Like you can. The best we can do for you is like let you lose by only a few points, but you're not beating North Carolina or fucking one of the really good fucking teams.
Yeah,
At least not after the first couple rounds. Then you're getting down into it.
get down on it.
Yeah, it turns out those other teams are ranked higher because they're a lot more talented.
Players that are more consistently good, not just good this one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, the ones that are obviously heavily recruited and fucking coached really well because they fucking picked a really good school with a really good coach.
Yeah, but God forbid anything go wrong, even a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
My coworker's son was a real big guy in high school, and was really good at football and all that shit until so he was getting recruited by a bunch of the some fairly decent colleges, and then the
Right.
second he broke his arm in a game, fucking gone, no scholarship, all of it pulled away. Like he'd already been like set to get a free ride.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, the way they fucking just discard fucking players. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Well, number one,
Like,
there's
nope,
no
sorry, we
reason
need to
he
give your
couldn't still
scholarship
be a
to
good
somebody.
player after he broke his arm.
Yeah, like it will heal.
Like you just have to give him enough time to actually heal. Plus, number
Yeah,
two, you're a fucking school, so isn't the point to educate people more than anything else? So, like, if you're gonna give this guy a scholarship, like, focus on academics as hard as you can to start.
yeah, but that's been a fucking farce for
Yeah.
fucking half a century at least.
Yeah,
Like,
I
oh
mean,
yeah, no, you're
considering
here for an
the number of people
education.
who are
Yeah,
functionally illiterate that come out of fucking colleges these days with degrees, no
yeah,
less. Yeah, this is kind of a
yeah. They're
joke.
like, just pass him. He's got to play, so you're gonna have to give him at least a C minus or something.
Yeah. Well, that's been the case since
Yeah,
like the '80s and stuff, and that was represented in film and TV shows.
yeah. It's definitely the way it goes.
It's like when they write like real Hollywood shit, and you're like, yeah, I know. If you want to get the role, sometimes you gotta fuck the director.
Yeah.
Like that's how Hollywood really works. Like sometimes you gotta fucking take a shot in the mouth if you want to get that role. Or it turns out that that's available apparently not just to women, but to any little boy as well, according to everything we've been hearing recently about Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I'm pretty sure. It's probably been a while, but I'm pretty sure I posted that one video of Leonardo DiCaprio when he was a kid, and like him interacting with was it Brian Peck or I don't know, somebody, dude. And like it was way too handsy, and it was just fucking creepy. And like, oh wow, that guy definitely molested DiCaprio,
Oh
and
yeah,
probably
yeah.
wasn't the only one.
Dude, I'm sure Pretty Little Boy like DiCaprio got passed around like a party favor. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, yeah.
There's no way. There's no way that wasn't happening. Yeah. Those people are fucking disturbed, man. All the people in Hollywood, they're seriously fucked in the head.
Yeah. I mean, I guess anyone that's like anyone that's involved with children's entertainment tends to be a scumbag or a fucking degenerate motherfucker like that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's probably some people who are like, nah, I just like working with kids. I don't want to fuck them at all. But that's incredibly not the case.
Well, I mean, you know, fucking, what was that Nickelodeon guy that everybody goes to? Schneider.
Yeah, Dan Schneider, yeah.
Where, like, you know, every single episode featured all of the MCs, like, feet. And weird fucking things where they're, like, putting food on it and stuff.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even just that they were like, oh, we're going to show all these feet off all the time. It was like, we're going to show all these feet off all the time. And then we're going to put, like, taco sauce on them. Or whipped cream or something. You're, like, really blatantly sexual.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, in hindsight, definitely. Well, it should have, I guess, just the sheer volume of it should have been obvious, but...
Do you know a lot of high school kids who put spaghetti on their feet? Is that like a normal fucking thing for people?
Not when I was young.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Not for anybody.
I remember, like, put spaghetti on our feet fucking Friday at school when I was a kid. You know, it was not a thing that people did. It's not a thing that people do now.
Definitely not. Right. Yeah, again, probably not for anybody. Any generation ever. Maybe one,
fucking
but
gross.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's just fucking ridiculous, man. I don't know how anybody just watched that and was like, oh, okay, that's totally normal fucking thing to happen all the time.
Although that might have been what he was trying to cause, I guess. He's like, hey, I'm going to get a whole generation of kids that thinks it's normal to have fucking food smeared all over their feet.
Well, okay, so there was an interview with somebody that I was hearing about. Like, somebody was relaying something in a podcast I listened to where they had seen it in an interview. And I forget which celebrity it was. But it was on a Dan Schneider set. And it was one of those things where they were like, he would go around on set with a Polaroid camera and money to get pictures of all the kids' feet.
Right.
And so the person who was in charge of this kid for whatever reason, you know, his mom or his dad or his auntie or uncle or whatever, I don't remember what it was. Was like, some you guardian type stay with me and you don't go anywhere near any of that. You aren't involved in any of that weird shit going on over there.
Yeah. If you're gonna have a kid actor, dude, you need to make sure either you or someone you fucking really trust is gonna be with them at all fucking times.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100 fucking percent.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking amazing that parents don't do that anyway.
Well, and kudos to whoever it was, because that is a big step above any of the normal shit that gets done for like Hollywood kids. A
Yeah,
lot of those
yeah,
parents are just like, I'm gonna look the other way while they fucking teach my kid how to do cocaine and anal sex.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
and,
You
and
got to
it's not
think
just little boys.
some of
Like a
those
lot of the little
fucking
girls that got involved there got fucked with too. Like Drew Barrymore's all fucked up from that shit.
yeah,
Always trying
yeah,
to fuck Dave Letterman.
yeah.
Like, you tell me that's a normal
That's
fucking
fucking
thing for a
bizarre.
teenage girl to be like, I want to fuck Dave Letterman, who's like 50 years older than me.
Yeah, although her family was all like, you know what I mean? Like, I think her parents were like film stars and shit too.
Yeah, the Barrymores was like, a Hollywood family from way back. I think you're right. I don't know, man. That whole thing is just.
But yeah, some of the shit she's talked about, like, she kind of remembers it fondly, but it was obviously shit that fucked her up.
Yeah, where you hear it and you're like, that's abuse? What the fuck are you like? Oh, yeah, I remember when I was trapped in a fucking trailer with the director and he would tie me to the bed and fucking make me eat these pills and then I'd wake up with my ass all sore. Memories.
Yeah.
You're like, that's a horrible memory. Why are you?
Yeah, well,
What's
some
wrong
of it
with
was
you?
not necessarily horrible, but it was like still kind of inappropriate. Where it'd be like, 'cause her mom would be like, "So, do you want to go to school where the kids all make fun of you and hate you, or do you want to go to Studio 54 and hang out?" Like, no, that's a little wrong too. It's not as wrong, I guess, as
That's fucking
getting
weird and
fucking
creepy.
molested or something. Yeah.
God damn, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like this. One of the kids in my one of my coworker, her sister-in-law or whatever, told her
Mm-hmm.
11-year-old son that she just didn't want him there for Christmas. Like, I don't need you here for Christmas. You need to find whatever. Go be somewhere else. Don't care. You're not here.
Wow.
Like,
Jesus
how
Christ.
fucking just fucking brutal is that?
That is just incredibly fucked, dude. God damn. That's pretty fucking evil.
Yeah, that's one of those things where you hear it and you're like, God, fuck that poor kid. Like, you just immediately, like, your heart just does that, like, like where it's just all the fucking air goes out of your lungs because you're just like, it's like breathtakingly evil.
Yeah. Yeah, especially for the kid, dude. You're like, wow, that must be just horrible. Like, no, it's actually got nothing to do with you. They're just fucking awful.
Yeah. Because the kids doesn't understand that it's nothing that they did, and that there's nothing that they can fix. Like, no amount of like being good, bad, or anything in between is gonna change it.
Yeah.
You're just dealing with evil.
Yeah, and just unfortunately have a parent that gives no fuck about you at all.
Yeah,
And considers you a burden. And it's not even not giving a fuck. They actively consider you a fucking burden.
Oh, well, one of the things I saw on one of those Reddits, I like to watch those Reddit videos where they read like weird, like they call the mass of Reddit, which I would never go to, which is mostly garbage, into like the three really interesting things that are on there for like a 5-minute little video. And one of them was this guy, things you've overheard that you weren't supposed to hear. He overheard his dad talking to his mom when he was like 13. And his dad's like, I don't even know why we have him. His older brother's already done everything we need a son for. He's just worthless. And his mom going like, yeah, I know. It's fucking pointless to keep him, but what can we do?
Yeah. Can we do it like a puppy where we just put him in a bag and throw him out the car, moving car?
I mean, it sounds like that was one of the things they were considering. I mean...
Yeah, Jesus, dude. I can't imagine hearing something like that out loud. Fucking parent. God damn. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just insanely evil. Like, that's one of those, like, you don't deserve kids things. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be allowed to have children anymore. You're just too vile. You know? Like, we don't want whatever it is that you're going to produce because it's not going to work out for us.
Yep. That's pretty fucked up, man. God damn.
I mean, I can't even imagine at 13 how you even begin to deal with that, honestly.
Yeah, it would be devastating, dude. I literally can't imagine it, dude.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I did put the picture of your dog pooping in the camera roll.
I appreciate it.
So it will pop up occasionally. Any other dog pictures you got that you want in there, by all means, you know.
Yeah.
Send them
I'm
to
sure
me
I've
via
got
Discord,
some.
and I'm happy to go. That person that showed up for like 5 seconds and put a bunch of pictures in the Discord, that's, I guess, a fan of Gaming and Yellings now.
Oh, really?
Whoever that was had a bunch of pictures that I threw in there. Yeah, look, whatever.
No, right on.
I mean, when I don't have to put forth any effort, like, I'm in, you know, like, that's
right.
super easy on my part.
I'll see what else. I'm sure. I don't take a lot of still pictures of them, but
I just don't take
I got a few.
much of anything on a regular basis, like, at all. It's just not a thing I do.
Yeah, well, I didn't.
Against it, just not my thing.
Yeah, well, I didn't before, you know, I became obsessed with this poor puppy.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's not poor. I treat him really well. He loves me. He seems to enjoy my presence.
Man. Simping hard for that dog.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, in fact, that's I had him basically until right before the show started. I hadn't brought him back out here to the house, hanging out for a bit.
Oh, no.
Although I was back in time, and then I was like, all right, I need to go. I want to run and get a couple energy drinks and shit.
Where's the puppy? I need my puppy.
I can't go this long without seeing the puppy. Yeah, he's definitely. I've been taking him out a lot. Instead of just going down there and taking him for a walk, I've started taking him like out here, and then taking him out in the desert and walking him, let him wander around the desert and shit. So he's finally gotten used to riding in the truck, which was one of the goals that we were, you know, one of the reasons we decided to have me doing it. Because, you know, dogs at first, they have to adapt to slowing down, speeding up, turning around, you know, going around corners and shit.
Yeah, there's a learning curve to being in a car for a dog. Yes, that is very true.
But yeah, he seems to enjoy it now. Although he never wants to get in. He never wants to get in the truck, but he's fine once he's in. I'm trying to get him to, you know, jump up into the truck by himself.
Oh, yeah?
And he instead backs up and starts jumping away.
Oh, like away from the truck? Huh. It's like, no, I will escape this vehicle.
But he also seems to enjoy the ride. So that's why I'm like, I don't know what freaks him out. I guess it's just something he'd rather not do, but it's not, like, horrible.
Yeah, dogs are fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a dog that wasn't, like, a really weird fucking character.
Yeah, that's true. They're just dogs, really. They just obviously operate different than even humans.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's not that there's anything wrong with them. It's just like dogs have always just been like odd characters in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one thing I didn't realize about the whole, like, how they smell shit and piss and all that other stuff, and they're, like, fascinated with it. And then one of the videos I was watching, like, explained it, and they're like, well, there's no bad smells to a dog. Like, nothing smells unpleasant to them.
Yeah, we have.
It's all just strong smells and interesting smells.
We have a psychological association with those smells that's been ingrained in our society because those smells are usually involve bad health.
Yeah.
So like if you've constantly got like feces smell all around you, you're probably making people sick. You know, like something like that is what they would be the problem.
Yeah.
And dogs just aren't that complicated. They don't understand that there's, bacteria and that's something that you generally don't want to fuck around with.
So yeah. So they're just like, yeah, I don't care. Like, they don't know fucking... apparently they like licking people's feet, dude. That's fucking... I haven't tested that one out, and I do not plan to, but...
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. Like, it's not a thing that you find out because you're trying to get your dog to... I mean, I assume it's not normally. That's not how it happens. I want that to be the case. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, why am I assuming that's the case? It's probably not. But for most normal people, you find this out because you're just hanging out at like your desk or something with your shoes off because it's a hot fucking day. And then your dog comes in and just starts licking your feet, and you're like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, get the fuck up off my feet, dude. What the fuck? Because it's not a pleasant sensation. It's really fucking weird and gross. It's like, no, fucking stop.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never had a dog lick my feet, but I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, that would be a little fucking gross.
You never had a dog? Have you guys ever had dogs before?
Yeah, but I don't think I can't recall ever having a dog lick my feet.
Weird. Yeah, our dogs have all done it. Maybe it's just fucking... I assume it's like sweat, like salt or something in the...
Yeah, that's what they say. It's because, yeah. Again,
yeah,
the
most
stink,
of our dogs have done that because it's like, you're sitting there with your sandals on or something, and they just lick your foot. Sometimes they just lick your hand to get your attention, though, too. Like, it's just a weird thing the dogs do.
So, I assume it's a combination of, again, the stink is not stink to them. It's just a strong, interesting smell.
Yeah,
exactly. And it's also the salty taste. Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is, of course, like, they just don't associate the negative impact on your health with those things.
Right. Goddamn. Or farts. I fucking like, I had a lot of gas the other day, and then he's like fucking literally just sniffing my ass. Like, oh damn, dude.
So weird.
I'm like, hey, we got something in common. We both like to smell like farts.
There you go. All about those farts.
Dude, that one is really bizarre as far as humans go. Everyone else's farts fucking reek. They're fucking gross. But our own farts smell good to us.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird, dude. Alright. Maybe I shouldn't have brought that up.
No, I don't. What else am I have nothing else to say. I'm gonna follow it up with.
Oh, okay. Alright, I thought I brought a train wreck. I hope.
Thing you said, like, oh my god, it's horrible. Somebody doesn't hate their own farts. I think most people generally like if it's your fart, it's not bad. If it's somebody else's fart, it's awful. That's just pretty normal.
Yeah.
Although I have on occasion
led me astray.
I have on occasion emitted a stink that, frankly, makes me leave the room. Like, I can't imagine like not being like, I gotta go. I'll be somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I can tell, especially stinky to other people, but honestly, it's pretty rare that I'm actually like, oh wow, even I think that's gross. But I can definitely tell, like, oh yeah, I hope nobody smells that. I'm like, it's okay with me. Like, it's not good, but it's not horrible. But everyone else is gonna know that's horrible.
Yeah. Well, some of your parts smell good, but the general rule I've always found is that most of them are like, it's not the worst I've ever smelled. It's not great either.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. What else is happening in the world today?
I mean, the economy's fucked, and the world is fucked just in general.
Yep. Things are fucking horrible. Dark times ahead.
I saw a thing where they were saying, like, because of how low our food production was this last year, we're probably going to be experiencing some really bad shortages coming up really soon.
Oh yeah, especially with all the food production or food processing plants going down.
Yeah, a combination of everything going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally not by design, I'm sure. Just a massive coincidence that so many fucking food processing plants go down and all that.
All at the time when we need them most. Yeah, no, that's just totally fucking random chance, man. What are you fucking implying? You a Nazi? You know, because that's the rule, right? Anytime you disagree with whatever bullshit they're selling at the moment, you must be a Nazi. I still fucking remember Mike losing his shit and fucking deciding we were no longer friends and blocking me. That shit was so fucking funny. Just totally fucking bizarre.
Yeah, no, I didn't interact with him a lot, but yeah. You can tell he was a little bit of fucking lefty, a fucking libtard.
Well, the only thing that ever really annoyed me about him was his tendency towards defeatism. Like, you can never change anything. Nothing is ever going to get fixed. It's all destroyed forever and ever and ever. And it's, you know, that's just the way it is. Nothing can be done.
Yeah, I suppose that is one difference, dude. Because yeah, I definitely see dark times ahead, but I assume it's going to be shitty for a while and eventually get better.
Yeah.
You know, like it's an ebb and flow.
Well, and
good times, bad times, good times, bad times.
No need to just give up on everything. You know what I mean? Like, you don't just give up on everything because things are not good now. That's ridiculous. You know, like, you gotta fucking keep fighting. You know, like, if we just give up, then what's the point of even being alive?
Indeed.
You know, like, might as well just fucking kill yourself. I mean, that's the way you look at everything. I wonder if that's why, like, some people are, like, suicides. It's because they're just, like... They can't see any possible way to, like, make improvements in the world, so they're just like, fuck it, I'd rather die.
Yeah. If that's your attitude, where, well, civilization's going to be destroyed and we're all fucked, why would you want to stick around? If that's truly what you believe, I can definitely see that. Yeah. Like you said, I think most of us agree that there's kind of dark times ahead, and we don't really see the way out of it or how it's going to get fixed.
It's like right now, it's the thing I tell everybody that matters to me at all is just like, be growing your own food. Be, you know, like, don't be...
Yeah, prepare for what you can prepare for. And, yeah. Like, if there's going to be food shortages, yeah, grow your own shit.
Yeah, like, now is the time to learn how to garden. It's not like, oh, if you're not growing your own food, you're going to die or something. It's like, but you're going to be a lot happier if you have, you know, fresh vegetables and, like, healthy shit.
Yeah, like, it worries me that it doesn't seem... There doesn't seem a non-violent way out of it.
That's like, the concern I'm looking at right now, because it's like, at a certain point, we can't just keep talking. Like, we're going to have to actually act, and it's the unfortunate thing is, like, I don't want to see that part.
Yeah, it's going to be incredibly...
And when I say that, I'm not advocating any violence. I'm in fact, the opposite of advocation of violence.
No, yeah, I would... I would much prefer a non-violent solution.
Well, there's always those fucking idiot tards that are like, you mentioned that there may be civil war or there may be some sort of strife that comes along in the future at some point somehow. Clearly you want it to happen. No, you not fucking understand English, motherfuckers. You speak it.
Yeah, they're not understanding that. Yeah, I hope I'm fucking wrong.
Yeah, I'd much rather that, like, they stop fucking rigging votes and that the natural progression of Republicans come into office and things shift the other way and we get more manufacturing back in the country and less, wholesale ignoring of the borders so that everything can gradually shift back to where it's supposed to be. That would be nice. That would be definitely a preference.
Yeah, it just seems incredibly unlikely that it's going to be yeah, it sucks, dude, but hopefully we're fucking wrong and some miracle fucking happens and all that shit's avoided.
Yeah.
But it seems unlikely.
Yeah, it's
you got to be pragmatic
about it. Yeah, I would much rather everything be better
by peaceful means.
Yeah, I don't want to see fucking war. That's awful. War is awful. That's one of those things that, like, the left doesn't seem to fucking understand, like, just how terrible war really is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a game. It's not, like, fun that everybody, like, we all going to a party. We're going to get our Nerf guns out and make, at the end, whoever has the most darts stuck to them is the loser. Like, that's not.
Yeah, they're treating it like it's fucking paintball.
Yeah, that's not how.
Now you get hit, and then you put the thing in the barrel and tell them that you're hit, and then you get to go off to the side until the next battle.
Yeah, exactly. That's not how that works.
People get fucking maimed, killed. Yeah.
But, you can't convince some people no matter what you do. They're just too fucking dumb to listen.
Yeah. I'm always kind of curious of the aftermath, or like other wars that have happened. Like, was it a vast majority of the people that didn't see it coming?
I mean, there's a lot of people that aren't going to see it coming when it comes here. I mean, that's...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. Yeah, if you're paying attention at all, it's hard to see another scenario.
Well, I mean, one of those big signs is, you have those counties and cities and stuff that are saying, hey, we're constitutional protection zones where we will not allow the federal government, state government, or any other government to come in and violate the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a pretty big deal. That's not...
Yeah, dude.
That's not like...
Yeah, and then for the people that...
silly thing people are doing. No, that's like... That's a precursor to civil war. Like, when you...
Yeah, especially if the other side is saying, well, then you're not doing your job, I guess, and we're going to have to fire you or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're not willing to fucking violate people's constitutional rights, you're going to have to, we're going to have to fire you.
Yeah, and that's a real big deal because that's where it starts. It starts with, like, the federal government deciding they can go in and raid something in, like, San Antonio or something, and Texas being like, no, you fucking can't. Like, get the fuck out of our city. That's not okay. That violates the Constitution. Mm-hmm. We won't allow it.
Yeah, either pass an amendment to change it if you can get the votes, or get the fuck out.
And that's where the Civil War starts. So, like, I think people should be taking a little more notice of that and taking it a little more seriously. Yeah. Like, hey, that's not a small deal. That's a very, very big deal.
Yeah.
But
I think that's the thing.
It's going to be probably the biggest potential issue right there.
Yeah. You start fucking with people's ability to feed themselves. Yeah, that's a fucking, about as basic a right as you can, other than making them not be able to breathe anymore. Like, that's fucking it.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the most basic fucking need. So, yeah. Like I said, it looks pretty bleak, but,
Well, I mean, it's nothing. Nothing is set in stone as we speak, and nothing has actually happened
Yeah,
yet. So, it's one of those things.
yeah,
Hopefully,
like I said, no, it could easily fucking turn out.
I mean, even with the rigging, if enough people vote, there's only so much they can do. Like that's how Trump won the first time, is they had no idea how popular he was.
Yeah, and how unpopular Hillary was. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Hillary was particularly unpopular. Like that's a claim. I think she was a typical Democrat. I don't think there was anything particularly
Yeah. Well,
unpopular
I guess
about
it
her. I
wasn't
think she was
nearly.
unpopular because the shift is going from Republican to Democrat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was. Well, definitely not as popular as one might have believed going into it because of how many fucking Hollywood people and fucking that kind of shit were like supporting her. Like, yeah, most people are like indifferent or don't think she's a bitch. you know. I guess I'll vote
It's
for
one of
her.
those things that they had a super popular option and she wasn't it. Honestly, I think the main part of that was just that Trump was extremely popular.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna have to fucking fix this. This weird aspect to the game that's new. Suddenly all of my enemies want to tunnel under the fucking ground. You remember Craft the World? We were bullshitting about it towards the end of the last stream.
Oh yeah.
And it's super fun game. But I think they've changed the AI and now the enemies, because it's sort of part of his tower defense. Like, once you built all your shit and your dwarves are bringing in stuff so you can build more shit and better weapons and armor, then there's more and more skeletons and zombies that get sent at you every 45 minutes. And I think they changed the AI because they used to just go left or right towards your base. And now they go towards your base, but they'll try to fucking tunnel underground and shit.
Oh wow!
So it's like, I gotta have a whole different set of fucking defenses now that I didn't even realize I needed. Shit, that's not cool. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of nice because I haven't played this game in a while, but I've played it many times, so now it's very different.
Yeah, it helps keep it fresh. That's always good. Well, not always, but usually.
One, the difficulty level is just based on whatever world you're in. So it starts easy, and then each world gets harder, as you go along. So it's kind of nice. So you can't just pussy out and be like, I'm just gonna turn the difficulty level down, make this a little easier for old Stabby to do. That's just not an option. Because a lot of games, if you're getting stuck on a point or something's really difficult, you can crank that difficulty level down for 20 minutes and blow through it, and then turn it back up, and it's most people are like, oh yeah, that's pretty totally fine, no big deal.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of nice to have that option, but dude, there's some games, I don't know if they still do it, but I remember games you fucking you'd get killed at a certain spot or fail at a certain spot a few times, and it would the little prompt would pop up and hey, you're having trouble, you wanna move the difficulty down, huh? Yeah. Dude, it used to fucking piss me off, dude. I'm like, fuck you, no.
Yeah, exactly. It's how am I gonna get better at this if I fucking just wuss out?
It's I'm aware of that option, assholes. Stop fucking suggesting it.
You ever played the Deadpool game?
Deadpool? No.
So there's it's a brawler style game where you run them around on a map and you're sort of looking down, third person, and you run them around and you do little punches and kicks and you fucking whip out your guns and you shoot people, or you whip out your knives and you cut them all up.
Right.
A lot of over-the-top, silly graphic violence. Very, very fun. All the mechanics are great. If you start getting stuck at a point, and you have to keep doing it over and over.
Oh God. Okay,
Deadpool
yeah, I
just
think I
makes
know where
fun
you're
of you.
going. Yeah, right. That's what I was imagining, dude. That's fucking awesome.
Like at first he's like, "Hey, I can't die, but it still fucking hurts, asshole." Like, and
That's
then
fucking
eventually he's like,
funny,
"What the
dude.
fuck is wrong with you? Are your hands fucking broken?" Like,
Do you need medical attention? Like, I don't know
like
if you should be playing this.
do
If
we need to turn on baby mode? Like what's the problem here, buddy?
That's fucking
It's
funny.
pretty fucking it's pretty great.
Yeah, that is pretty fucking perfect for Deadpool too. It's fucking awesome.
Because yeah, exactly. It's exactly what you expect. Yeah, it's 100%.
Yeah. As you were saying it, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is where this is going.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I figured you would guess. Yeah.
Shit.
I wasn't. I didn't think I was gonna surprise anyone. I assumed the only reason
Anybody
you
familiar
didn't
with
know about that
Deadpool?
is you'd
Yeah.
never played the game.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you knew there was a Deadpool game, of course he's gonna make fun of you when you can't get past a certain point. And it's a lot of fun. Like I'm stuck. I got stuck at a point and I couldn't get any further. But that just happens. I'm not very good at those kind of games.
Oh, the brawler type, yeah, beat 'em ups.
Yep. Not my style of
Yeah.
game. But
I guess I played a lot of it as a kid, like Double Dragon and shit like that.
Oh, Double Dragon,
Yeah.
I loved, and fucking like what's the one? Contra. Contra, I was a big fan of.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't enjoy the games; I'm just not very good at them.
Gotcha.
I never like. I don't know. I mean, I don't understand how to block or something. I don't know. It just never seems to work out.
Yeah, well, some of the enemies you have to kind of use little exploits, like, all right, you don't line up with them until the last second. And as they're coming down toward you hit them as they get to your level.
Yeah.
Because, otherwise they're fucking impossible. There's a dude twice your size that can fuck you up in like 3 hits.
Oh, I ordered some Taco Bell today, and as is my custom when I order Taco Bell, I order like an extra 10 of like the really cheap shitty burritos.
All right.
Because it's like $12, but I'm already getting it delivered, so I'm saving money long run. Because then I don't order Taco Bell for a very long time. Because I can just reheat that shit whenever I feel like it.
Yeah, especially like a bean burrito.
Yeah, it's bean and cheesy rice burritos, which is just beans and rice and cheese, and it's super. It's a tasty burrito. And next time I want fast food, I'll just microwave that shit and not spend like $30-$40.
Yeah, good call.
Oh yeah, I found it to be an excellent call every time.
Yeah, if it's shit that you kind of have to eat fresh, that doesn't work, obviously. But again, if it's shit that's already all mushy and it's not going to get any mushier by, refrigerating it and reheating it, yeah, it's kind of perfect.
Oh, I freeze it. I just throw it in the fucking freezer. It actually, they reheat really well, and you just like defrost them over the course of a day or like overnight or something.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people don't realize that microwaves power settings that you can change. So like if you're defrosting it something, you can put it at lower power and it does it a lot more evenly than if you're just trying to do it at high power.
Very true.
Yeah. Works well with like ice cream that's way too hard. You put it at like 50-60% power for like 15 seconds. Does a pretty decent job.
I don't know, man. The microwave we got is fucking slamming. It is really awesome. It has like an air fryer built in.
Oh wow!
It has an oven. It has a broiler. and you can pretty much do whatever you want with it.
Yeah. Well, we have one that does everything except the microwave part.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, the microwave is really
cool.
good too. Like you can adjust it really easily to like whatever wattage you want.
Yeah.
It's just the whole
Yeah,
thing
I didn't
is
realize
fucking
they had that.
glorious, man. It does all of them really well. That's the thing that's crazy.
Yeah, you would think all of them would be just kind of maybe average at best. If it does it all well, that's fucking awesome. Pretty impressive, really.
I'm trying to think of like. Why is that? I'm about to restart this game. Shit's broken.
Oh, you're still playing the same game?
Yeah, I craft the world. I'm on the second world. It takes hours and hours and hours to beat each world. But part of my game is just not functioning correctly. I don't know why. Usually I can mark enemies as like, you know, like I click on an enemy and then my guys are just like, alright, must destroy the enemy. And so they'll all like focus on that and go and charge and kill that one thing until it's dead.
Now they're getting bored and they're like, I want to do something else.
Yeah, they're just not doing it. It's like, yo, asshole, fucking go do your job, motherfucker. And apparently, like, the enemies will just tunnel down now, regardless of how deep they have to go. Which isn't a problem, except that they're at the other side of the fucking map. Like, it's, you know... They're like 100 squares to the left or right, so your guys take forever to get down there. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It's really bizarre. I'm gonna get used to, like, a new AI system.
Yeah, or hopefully they'll fucking adjust it so it starts making sense again.
You would think, yeah.
Like, oh, maybe we went too far with that. I'm gonna have to tighten that up. Or you would hope.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much they're still gonna like pay attention to what's going on in the game. There's only so much fucking, you know, like this is a fucking old ass game. It's been out for like 8 years or something.
All right.
I don't know how much they want to fucking, you know, focus on a game that's already like way past its normal like due-by date, so to speak.
Yeah, they kind of wrung all the money out of it that they can. They're like, fuck it.
Well, and like the newest DLC that I just bought was like $2.50 on sale from $5, so it's not like it was real hard to fucking afford. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh man, I fucking hate werewolves. They turn your dwarves into werewolves, and then for the whole night, your dwarves won't do anything. If they're a werewolf, they'll just stand there, and anything that comes near, they'll attack it, unless it's another dwarf for some reason. That for some reason is they won't, but they won't do any work. So like, you can't get them to build your base. You can't get them to like collect resources. They just stand there, and if there's two of the fucking things too close to one another, they'll just start fucking murdering each other. And you're like, what the fuck, guys? Like, not cool.
That sucks. Is there any way to cure them, or are they just stuck there till morning?
It just takes a while to get to the part where you have all that technology unlocked, because you have to unlock tech on a tree. So, like, you have to build a certain amount of pieces of wooden armor before you can start building leather armor, before you can start doing metal armor, before you can do, like, higher than iron and that sort of thing.
Yeah, when you start getting into the made-up metals.
Yeah, well, like, or like armor made out of silver or gold. It's like, that's not really armor, that's just a joke. Can you imagine how worthless a fucking suit of gold armor would be?
Yeah, it would look really nice, but it would not, it's pretty soft metal, from what I understand.
yeah. It would. Well, also
More
how heavy
more
gold would be.
ceremonial than fucking than practical.
Yeah, more ceremonial than practical. Well, I mean, can you imagine like gold trying to stop anything?
Yeah, not well at all.
Yeah, a lot of sword blades are getting turned by a silver armor.
Is it werewolves? Yeah, silver is supposed to, like a silver bullet's supposed to kill werewolves, right?
You know what? I don't know if the silver does more damage to the wolves in here. They're not technically werewolves. They just make your guys into werewolves. They're just big fucking wolves.
Oh, okay.
And then when your guys get bit by them or whatever, when they're like fighting them off, they turn into werewolves for whatever reason.
They get like bit and infected.
Yep, and then you gotta like make a potion and heal them with the potion. It's kind of a pain in the ass. It's not super exorbitant as far as resources go, but early in the before you've gotten that tech reached, it's a real pain in the ass.
It's a pain in the ass. It's a real fucking grind. Yeah,
because then there's like half of your fucking workforce is just gone every night for no reason.
Yeah, I would imagine that would be a pretty big effect on productivity.
Yeah, right now I'm and the other thing that's interesting in this game is you can, if you need to, just take control of like one dwarf and do a bunch of shit that they can't normally do. Like normally if you say put a torch on this square, one of the dwarves has to go back to the base, grab a fucking torch, and bring it out and put it in place.
Oh wow. Alright. Sounds fun.
Oh, awesome. They've all decided to come over and stand around.
They're there for moral support.
They're literally, I'm sitting there filling in a tunnel, and these fuckers just like, I'm gonna go stand in the way so you can't build anything here. Peace out, bitch. You're like, what the fuck's wrong with you assholes?
I'm on break.
Yeah. Well, you have to build beds and shit. That's how they get their health back.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck is this?
Build little dwarf beds, and then the better bed you build, obviously the faster the health returns.
Makes sense.
So, right now I'm on the last stage of bed building where it's like super expensive to build them. Gonna break out like my steel and leather and cloth and all that shit. But on the upside, then my dwarves go and sleep for like 2 minutes and get full health again, and I don't have to waste resources giving them potions and shit.
You gotta let them rest a bit.
Samaj to fucking complain at us.
He usually doesn't get here until like after 5, right?
Oh, is that it?
I think it's somewhere around 5 or a little after when he shows up usually. I assume he's got real world shit to do in the meantime. Yeah, he's rarely here when we start, I know that. Yeah. It's usually at least an hour or a couple hours in when he shows up. So he's not late. Not yet.
Well, he's not even fucking required to be here. It's nice to have to. It's not like
yeah, attendance is definitely not mandatory.
To fucking show up.
What the hell are you supposed to be?
Don't think that means we're gonna start paying you.
Yeah. Yeah. Turns out the show is not profitable at all.
In any way. Yeah, the amount of money that a lot of people make off of things like YouTube sometimes blows my mind.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. But they generally do things like, try.
Well, they'll sell you anything. Like that's painfully clear.
Yeah, that's true. Remember when everybody was doing the fucking like Raid Shadow Legends? Like Raid was paying a lot of people to fucking
Oh,
show
there's
that.
still a lot of people to do the Raid Shadow Legends, man. That's still a huge fucking advertising thing.
Yeah,
They
they seem to just move throughout different
really
genres
want
of
you to
you.
buy Raid
Yeah.
Shadow Legends. I imagine that whatever the algorithm is on Raid Shadow Legends, or however it works or whatever, it's must be really effective at getting people to like blow money.
Mm, yeah, it's probably similar to all the other games like that, where you fucking get to level your heroes up by spending
A bunch of fucking money.
theoretically by grinding, but mostly by spending money, spending more money than the other guy. And you want to beat
Yeah.
that other guy. He's a fucking asshole. So you're going to fucking spend
Blow
more
your
money
money.
than him. Yeah. Yep. I've gotten caught in it a couple times. Like a fucking dumbass.
Yep.
There's definitely been ones like, I don't even know if these other people are even like actually spending the money. I think some of these people are just developers
I threw like
with an account that
40 bucks
is.
at what's that fucking game? The Fallout one where you were building like a base. It was like a cell phone style game.
Fallout Shelter. Yeah, Fallout
Yeah,
Shelter.
I threw like
Yeah.
40 bucks at that buying like fucking stuff before I was like, oh, I'm fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing? This is a shitty game. But then I was like, I mean, I enjoyed playing it for a fairly decent amount of time. You know, I guess it's not so bad.
Because yeah, spending the money does make it until you realize that you have, unless you win the lottery, you're not going to really be able to compete with the higher ups there.
I mean, to me, at that point, like honestly, to me, it's not even about like beating anyone else. It's just, man, am I really gonna spend money on something so fucking frivolous and nonsensical? Like this digital shit in a game. Like I don't get anything out of this. I don't get to take something home. It's not like when I bought that super special fucking blue, silver, gray gem or whatever. That like I get a real one mailed to my fucking house. Like I get a fucking. I'm just out $20. You know, like.
Yeah, it depends. I'll generally spend if the money makes it more enjoyable for me. Yeah, but other than that, yeah.
I'm more inclined to be like, oh, that wasn't very fun. I'll just find another game to play. Like it's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend money on it, so I'll just find another game. And usually that's not that hard. A lot of fucking games out there.
This is true. Yeah, especially when you hear like how much the had to spend to get where they're at. They're like, that's fucking insane. Like, I can't imagine spending that, even if I had a bunch of money, dude.
Well, and I'm sure like there gets to be like natural rivalries and people rub you the wrong way or whatever. So you fucking kind of get to a point sometimes where you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck that dude up. I'm gonna fucking win now. Even though like you didn't really care about the game, dude was just kind of a dick and throwing his weight around because he threw $500 in.
That's why
skill. He's not good at the game. He just has like more money to.
Yeah, he just spent way more money. Yeah, and that's why I suspect that they have like people that are essentially like given almost unlimited resources to go in and get a high character and fuck people up. Just so other people are going to want to spend enough to fucking try to beat that guy.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind.
Or those guys.
Half the people that start shit in those games are fucking working for the company.
Yeah.
Maybe not directly, like they're not working like I get a salary every month. But they're getting free shit to go in and antagonize people, no doubt.
Yeah, it would be surprising if they didn't. The companies have got to realize, like, oh wow,
that's not a thing that happens. Yeah, that'd be silly.
Yeah. It turns out that pissing other people off in the game and gets them to spend a lot more money than advertising from some YouTuber.
Weirdly enough.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the Game of Thrones one that I was playing, I'm like, there had to be multiple ones in there because they were acting like I would just find it hard to believe that they found that many psychopaths in one fucking server.
Oh, I don't know,
That are
man.
just like, oh, we're going to attack everyone. Anybody that's unshielded, even if it doesn't benefit us all, we're going to attack them and wipe them out.
Have you ever been like in a game where like the Chinese come in and fuck around?
Mm. Not that I know of.
Okay, so like,
but probably.
Ark is. Have you seen Ark before? The dinosaur game.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's
yeah,
like a survival game where you like tame and train dinosaurs, and you can like build bases and build weapons and shit. And it is
right.
immensely popular. Lots and lots of people played that game. It's been going for a very long time now. And it's got all sorts of crazy shit going on. But fairly early on, there was some issues where like the Chinese would come into servers and try to take over and enslave all the people that were playing. It was a similar thing would happen on Conan. And like, I mean, literally, like, you would be a servant essentially to the Chinese clan and you couldn't be part of it unless you were a Chinese person. And so like, you'd be given like tasks to do if you didn't want your bases and your stuff like destroyed. You'd have to like deliver like a certain amount of metal and a certain amount of like other resources every day.
Wow.
To your overlords. And then the thing is, in like Ark and stuff, the enemies can use tranquilizer to render your character unconscious and then put it in a cage and like take it places even if you're not there. So like your body's persistent when you're offline, so you're just asleep when you're offline, and that's why you build the base, so your body is protected by your base while you're not there. And then the general rule is like dinosaurs and shit won't just destroy your base while you're gone, but players can. So you either have defenses or have your base hidden away, or build with materials that are strong enough that nobody can get in there. And so like the Chinese will come in, and then like that whole thing is just sort of offset. It's pretty shitty. Yeah. And Conan Exiles is similar because like your character just falls down and like sleeps wherever you are when you leave the game, and then is there until you come back. But they didn't have like the way to like move the character and shit, as far as I know, or imprison and enslave it like the other ones did. But yeah, that was a real big issue early on in Ark when I played. I haven't played in a long ass time, so I don't know if it's still a problem or not.
Yeah, I think Lords Mobile was kind of like that, but it was like they could snack. You'd have a bunch of different like heroes or whatever the fuck you want to call them, and there were other ones. Other people could like kidnap them or whatever and hold them for ransom. So, but you had multiple characters, so it wasn't like if they got you one time, then you were just fucking fucked.
Yeah.
But you'd be without that character until they either let it go or you fucking paid them ransom or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, there's a lot of shitty people when it comes to online games that do a lot of shitty things to people.
Yeah. Some of that shit, I'm just like, dude, that's so fucking evil. Like, why would you do that? Like, again, because, that's the other thing is the only reason it's fucking happening, and the only reason they can take you like that is because they spent more money.
Yep. Yeah, that's the part that's frustrating about a lot of those games, which is why I don't have anything to do with them in general. Because it's a big part of like, well, I mean, if the only thing that matters is how much money you spend, I'm not interested in playing because there's nothing to be gained.
Yeah.
If it's entirely a skill level thing, then it's like, oh, cool, that's kind of fun. You know, how do I?
But yeah, it's definitely the way almost all of them work now. Is whoever spends the most money is generally the most powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to find, dude, the amount of fucking money, dude. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta remember, like,
hundreds of thousands, dude.
Pumping fucking money into people at this point. Like all those wealthy people that are like fucking up the U.S. over are basically just taking large sums of money from China to do it.
Yeah, it's so fucking nuts, dude.
Why am I not able to do that? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, something's going on with this game. Weird. Suddenly things that I normally am allowed to do in the game, it's not working. I don't know why.
Oh. Probably have to spend more money.
I mean, I own the game.
That's
There's nothing to
paywall
spend
now.
money on. There's nothing I could give them more money to change.
Not yet.
I
guess that game's different.
I know where you're going with it. It's just like I don't.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that one's probably not set up like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not the way it works, but it is kind of an interesting one. If it was a newer game, that would make sense. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna switch it over to this model and make more money. Like, oh okay, I get it.
Ooh, a gyrocopter. Damn, what the fuck happened here? I'm just wandering around in the fucking Far Cry 4. I should probably move on. Like, I already got all up to full money and all that shit. I should probably move on to a different game. But it's still kind of fun to wander around and fuck shit up.
I mean, are you still enjoying the game you're playing?
Yeah, it's alright. Because I'll still occasionally come across something that I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, because if you enjoy the game you're playing, like, fucking who cares how long you played it?
Yeah.
You're still enjoying it. Keep enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting towards the end, but yeah. It's still pleasant. Plus, I have, what was the other game I had? There's a game that I'd bought a while back. And, yeah, the Star Wars one I'm done with playing. The Dishonored 2. Oh, Uncharted. Okay, this is one of the Uncharted games. Uncharted 4 is the other one. So, I haven't played that, and I bought that shit like fucking 6 months ago. I bought all 4 of those games for like $20 or whatever. Because they were on sale that day.
Oh, I did that with the fucking game series that I have yet to play, and I really do need to go and play. The like the Borderlands games.
Oh, right. Yeah, Borderlands. Yeah, my son. I don't think I've ever played them, or at least not any significant amount.
Yeah,
but yeah, my son definitely played them.
In tone and style to the Fallout style games.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, and it's not like a bad, like bad game or anything. It's just
just haven't gotten around to it,
and it seems a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've definitely, like I said, it's been a while, but I definitely remember my son playing those ones. And I probably played them a little, but... You guys kill the fucking Sherpa, you little fucking assholes. I'm gonna run over here. I'm gonna jump in the water. Can't get me. Suckers. They're still chasing me. Yeah. Fuck you. There's like these wild dogs that run around.
I fucking hate that.
Yeah, they're pretty easy to kill, because again, they don't cause very much damage. And you can fucking, like, you don't even have to shoot them if you don't, you can just slice them up. And they can't really kill you unless you literally stand there and just let them.
Well, I like enemies like that. Enemies like that are good, where it's really, really easy to deal with.
Yeah, it's not too annoying.
Really irritating.
Yeah, it can be, because they're usually in packs. There's usually at least 3 of them. There's 3 or 4. The wolves have wolves that do the same thing. The wolves are obviously tougher to kill than these little fucking wild dogs or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, have you ever seen like an actual wolf in comparison to the size of a dog?
Oh yeah, dude, they're fucking huge. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are aware of exactly how big fucking wolves get, dude. They're
Yeah, even like the hybrids that you're still legally allowed to keep as pets in some areas, where it's like a half wolf, half dog.
That is what I'm talking about.
It's like a different scale. You know what I mean? As to a regular dog, that's a different scale. So when you get to like a fully like purebred wolf, like it's just fucking laughable.
Yeah. No, this chick I knew had one that was half wolf, and I'm like, this thing's like fucking 5 or 6 feet long. Like, not even counting the head.
Yeah,
like, it's at least 5 feet. Like,
as big as a person.
Yeah.
Easily.
So, yeah, I can imagine a full-blooded wolf, dude, is fucking terrifying, dude. Especially because they do run in packs. You know what I mean? So it's not even like it's just one of them.
And they're very happy to kill you and everything about you, because they don't give a shit.
Yep, and they are generally not going to lose those battles. So, again, unless you have a fucking... unless there's a few of you, or if you're really, really good with whatever fucking weapon you have.
Yeah.
You probably really don't have much.
Well, that's why we have guns. A lot of people don't realize that, like, why guns are necessary. We've talked about that before, but like, wolves would be one of those reasons. Like, if you live in an area where there are wolves, there's certain areas you have to have a gun to go to safely.
Because you get caught without one.
Yeah. Or even places where, like, just going in your backyard, you need to have some sort of firearm, like, on you at all times. Because, like, a wolf or a bear could be there at any given point. Like, especially places like Alaska or, like, Maine or, like, Wisconsin, some of the rural areas around there. Like, all the really northern states.
Pacific
like,
Northwest,
Yeah, Montana, Dakota. Like, all these places that still have a lot of really rural areas. And, like, the motherfuckers need a gun. Like, they don't want guns. It's a necessity.
Yeah, it's an absolute necessity if they want to... have a chance at continuing their fucking existence.
Not dying. They're really big fans of not dying, I'm assuming.
Indeed. Yeah, they're not trying to look cool or fucking, planning on killing people with them.
In a lot of those areas,
some of them.
I don't know if they still do, but in a lot of those areas, man, like, once you hit like 13, 14, you're carrying. Like, you're carrying like a shotgun
you're gonna be going anywhere
of some kind. Yeah, because it's just safer, A lot of people used to ride their fucking horse to school and have a gun with them.
Yep, makes sense. There's a lot of shit out there that can kill you.
Well, and also just some places are just super fucking rural,
Yeah.
13-year-old might happen by the right animal at the right time of year and be able to bring home dinner,
Yep, that's a good point.
Oh, have you ever seen the splayed feet people in the fucking South American jungles?
The ones that, like, have their feet, like, their toes, like, ground into a point somehow?
No. There's...
Oh, the opposite. The opposite of that?
It's splayed feet, so it's, like, essentially because they spend all of their lives barefoot, and they're just walking around the jungle and, like, climbing trees and all sorts of crazy shit like that.
Right.
Their toes spread way out.
Oh, okay.
I'll see if I can find some pictures.
Wait, I guess that is the opposite of what I was thinking.
Post them up in the Discord. But it's a real fucking trip, man. And they think that's how, like, everybody's feet would have looked way back in history, like, before, modernization and shoes and all that kind of shit.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But essentially, like,
Yeah, no, I was thinking of the opposite. I think it was actually you that had posted it. The people where they fucking like crunch their
like
toes into like pointy shoes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a Chinese thing, Chinese foot binding. And well, it's happened in a lot of other cultures too, but it's really, really big in China. And I think
yeah, that was weird. You can see the toes, but they're all like kind of wrapped around and like
yeah, it's really gross.
Yeah, yeah. Like, God, that's fucking nasty. So yeah, makes sense though if you're constantly the other splayed foot thing.
Well, they're like their toes become essentially like an extra thumb.
Yeah, yeah. Start spreading out. You get better grip. You get better fucking whatever.
Oh, I fucking hate when I hit caps.
I actually have that the picture that I posted with the dog shitting with the devious trap, the unintentionally devious trap I set for him with that toy.
Yeah.
I actually have that as my fucking screensaver now.
It's the
I don't know why, dude. It's fucking hilarious to me.
See if I can put that in the Discord here.
What the hell? Why isn't that?
It's not for some reason. Up for some reason.
Yeah, I see that you posted something, but it's not.
Weird.
Okay. Yeah, it's like you just posted like blank, like a blank thing for some reason.
All right.
Oh shit! I never got to watch the one about the turkey living in his yard. Him getting fucking fined or whatever, ticketed for having a wild turkey.
So they fined him, and then they removed the fine over that, and then what it turns out is essentially. Oh, there you go. You can see like the guy's feet. It's not super crazy over the top, but it's very drastically different from how feet look.
Yeah,
and apparently they just walk up and down trees. Essentially, they're super good at climbing because of this and everything. And like they see these are people that like they've probably never seen a white guy, never experienced any sort of technology of any kind. Like this is a group of people they found in the jungle that had just lived untouched since fucking the primeval days. Days, essentially.
Like since like before Columbus and fucking any of that shit.
Essentially, these are the fucking rejects that are still Stone Age after all that fucking time and never went anywhere past Stone Age. So of course, for some
I guess it would make sense it'd be in a jungle. Like their jungle provides quite a lot.
Yeah. There's no need to progress in order to get more. It's not like you live out in the fucking desert and you're like, "Yo, we need some air conditioning, motherfucker." There's a lot more motivation.
We need to figure out how to get more water here. Yeah.
So, of
There's
course,
plenty here that can sustain us and kill us.
Has decided that the only way to live healthy is to do whatever it is they do, and they're much better off than everyone else in the world because of their diet or some other bullshit about them. I just think the feet thing is interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Well, no, I mean, it makes sense. Not that...
Oh, yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Think anybody's jacking off to those feet?
Probably.
Yeah, most likely.
I mean,
it does seem to be the people that are into that shit. Well, the people that are into the feet, like they seem to be turned on by the nastiest looking feet they can find.
Yeah, a lot of times, weirdly, that is the weird. Yeah, true, very true.
Well, although I'd assume there's all kinds. I'm sure there are plenty of. They're like, no, those are hideous. I like to jack off to pretty looking feet.
define pretty feet, I suppose I would say at that point.
Yeah, that's true. That is a subjective term.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and be like, I don't really think there's a lot of pretty feet out there, but I know people will take offense to that.
Yeah, as far as body parts go.
Yeah, those feet are pretty fucking gnarly, man. I never understood the feet fetish thing, but whatever. Like, whatever they jack off to or with isn't gonna fucking affect me. So.
Yeah, whatever works for them.
Yep.
Good
it's like
for
those
them.
People that freak out when they find out, like, that people have, like, jacked off to them or something.
Oh, like, right.
No matter who you are out there, even if you're absolutely hideous, at some point somebody is probably jacked off thinking about you.
Mm.
And it's probably somebody you know.
Yeah, most likely. I prefer to not think about it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not just being like, isn't that super awesome? I'm just like, it's just reality is somebody out there is fucking masturbated while thinking of you at some point. And it may not even be somebody you would find that repellent. You may be like, well, you could have just said something. You know, like, why didn't you say something? There was no need for the fucking masturbation. I'd have been there.
Right. Although maybe that's part of the fucking
appeal people somehow. That just have no confidence, man. I've heard some of the people with some of the no argument at all. Just some of the most amazing voices you've ever heard singing in like VR chat who think they're just awful. And nothing you say can convince them anything else.
Yeah, like they think you're mocking them when you tell them have a beautiful voice.
It's genuinely like sad. It's very unfortunate. But, it's just the way it is. There's some people,
Like, hey, wow, you got a really beautiful voice. You're like, okay, asshole, block.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm serious. Fuck you.
Yeah, make fun of the fucking monkey. Alright. The singing monkey's here to be mocked. Wait, is this the part of the movie where... No. God damn, that was so fucking unsettling. Like, cause I remember watching, like, Deadpool, and there were times where Deadpool addressed, like, plot points in the movie as they were being made in a humorous and fun way.
Yeah.
And it is bizarre. Like, how that just doesn't work.
Yeah, I assume that's probably what they're doing. It sounded like they were doing some, like, fourth wall breaking shit. And they're like, well, it's talking to the audience or whatever, or kind of talking to them. Works for Deadpool, so I'm going to do it. I don't need to put any thought into making it clever or funny. It just has to happen. It'll be funny. And it turns out it doesn't.
Like, I'm not losing. I'm actually winning. That's just fucking obnoxious.
Not fun.
I feel like doing it. Well, because what's the point of having defenses if none of them matter? They're just going to dig straight down no matter where you put anything. It's like, all right, well, then I'm just not going to play. I'll find another game.
Yeah, it sounds like the fucking Eagles in Far Cry 4. Where it's like, yeah, they'll just swoop down on you without you ever knowing. Fucking, there's no fun element to it. It's just fucking annoying.
Yeah, they're not. I'll probably go back and play the game again later. I'm just done for now. Like, it's like, I'm fucking done. It's fucking lame. I'm tired of watching everything I build mean absolutely fucking nothing. Like, spend like all this fucking extra time building all these fucking arrow throwers, and then my enemy just tunnels straight down into fucking nothing, and literally just into big fucking stone holes for no reason. Like, all right, well, that's fun. Now I gotta spend like 20 fucking minutes hunting them down because my dwarves have to go around all this fucking stone instead of breaking through it. Such a pain in the
That
ass.
sucks.
Well, I'm trying to think, like, what would the other thing? I'd basically just have to have, like, arrowcasters all over the entire fucking map? Like, am I just literally gonna have to, like, nowhere is safe, everything just murders everything? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think I would have to literally grow all of my trees underground. Like, because I can't grow them above ground. And then just turn everything into a giant kill zone.
Yeah, that sounds like some bullshit.
I'll have to see if there's something I can do to, like, you know, like how there's like bait in certain games.
They're like, what? I'm sorry.
You know how there's like bait in certain games. Like, you know, you want to catch, you want to catch a wolf, so you have to go and find this item and that item and craft them together into wolf bait.
Yeah, and you throw it out, and the wolf shows up. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, Far Cry has that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Far Cry I put this thing in my castle, and then they just only want to attack right there. They don't bother to dig around and shit.
Yeah, I've done that more than once in the Far Cry one, where I don't realize when I turn the game on, like the default is bait, because there's a bunch of different shit you can throw with whatever button that is. It's anything from bait to grenades to Molotovs, and it's usually Molotovs for me to clear out the trees or whatever. And then, like, I'll start the game and I'll go to throw a Molotov, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's right, it's gonna be set to fucking bait. I'm like, all right, I guess the bear's gonna show up here.
Buttons every time.
Yeah.
Don't you save the game? That's fucking dumb.
No, yeah. Well, it kind of saves on its own. Reload it.
No. I'm just saying, like, the game save feature should save your fucking settings.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to
definitely
reset all your fucking buttons every time. That's dumb. On their part, obviously. Like, that's just a bad game design. Weird that they haven't patched.
Well, that's the only one. Any of the other shit is like the weapons.
It's not the end of the world. Obviously, it's still, you know, a really good game.
Yeah, it's an easy fix. I mean, you hold down L1 and you go around the little wheel to whatever you set to. But yeah, it is kind of annoying because, you know, especially with the way I was doing shit, like having a predator show up kind of fucks it up.
Yeah, while I'm burning
again, I can't. It's not easy to kill them without a fucking gun, and I'm trying not to use ammo. So yeah, it kind of fucks it up. And then there's again, all the NPCs around are going to get killed by the thing if you don't kill it.
Man, we did a fucking World War II style game in VR and chat last night, and I couldn't figure out how the fucking guns worked, so I just picked a random one, and it was the gun where you have to load in a clip of 5 bullets, and then you take a shot and you got to work the bolt yourself between each bullet that you shoot, and everybody else in the game had the one where you put in a clip of like 6 and you just shoot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you reload. Oh, that was like the fucking worst thing in the world. Literally every fucking
instead of like a fucking like the M1 carbine, instead of like a bolt action. Yeah.
Every fucking bullet, every gunfight that I was in, I had to fucking I just lost because I'd shoot once and then I'd be done. Even if I hit the dude first, it didn't matter because I had to fucking reload like manually every time.
And he can shoot all 5 before you fucking even get the
reload
second shot
once.
off.
Yeah, it was like, oh, I'm dead again. All right, cool. Still, though, VR Chat has proved to be one of the most interesting games I've ever played. Because there's just so many.
Is it really a
games
game? I mean, it's more like a fucking. Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
Like there's there's frisbee tag, there's freeze tag, there's all sorts of different shooter style games that are in there, like dozens upon dozens. There's a bunch of like murder style games where like it's you and like 12 other people, and one of you is a bad guy. Nobody knows who the bad guy is, and you gotta use whatever game mechanic to suss out the bad guy and kill him.
Kind of like the Among Us game, but in VR chat.
Well, there's that, but it's the Among Us is basically a copy of Murder, and Murder was a thing where like there'd be like one murderer and like 12 other people in a house. And if you weren't the murderer, you had to go and collect clues so you could get a gun, and then you could protect yourself and shoot somebody. And then if you shot the wrong person, your gun would fall. And if you shot the right person, the round would be over because you killed the murderer. And then there was like like a sheriff that started out with a gun, but nobody knew who the murderer was, so you couldn't just shoot random people. But a lot of fun, interesting.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
But that's what Among Us.
You ever watch some dude named Daniel? I think his channel is like DNSL or some random letters.
Shit, I just unplugged my.
But he goes into
Sorry.
Oh shit. Okay, are you hearing me?
No, I can't.
That better?
I actually swung my hand and my fucking headphones just came
flying
out.
All right, I thought it was me.
No, unplugged by accident. Sorry, so it's Daniel something or other, and you were watching.
Okay, yeah, it's the dude that goes into. You're familiar with Second Life, the game?
Yes, those people are fucking crazy.
Okay, well, this dude goes into those games, and like fucks with people, like trolls them basically. But like the way he does it in general is
that's gotta be entertaining because those people take that shit.
Yes, dude,
seriously.
Dude, it's fucking awesome, dude. So yeah, he'll go in and he'll find out what it's about, and he'll ask questions that seem innocent, but he's fucking trolling them. And he'll be like, "But I don't understand." But if you're, like he'll fucking do that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And goddamn, they get so fucking angry. It's fucking brilliant, dude. Yeah, I got to share a couple with you.
Send me those. Yeah, because Second Life people take that shit for real.
Dude, they get so pissed.
I knew a dude when I was still in my early 20s that I hung out with. His dad was so into Second Life that he lived in a shitty hotel despite having shitty little fucking apartment, despite making really good money. And like, homie was basically on the edge of poverty looking style, but his dad spent all his money on Second Life. Like,
dude,
to the point where he was
crazy
divorced.
amounts, like on houses and shit, right? Like,
yeah,
almost
didn't
real
Microsoft
world prices?
spend like $1 billion on some property or $1 million on a piece of property in Second Life?
Dude,
I remember some company bought Second Life property for a big amount of money.
Wow, dude. No, I knew it was like, well, any money at all really is too much, but I thought it was like maybe 10,000 or something like that. I did not realize they were getting in fucking like crazy $1 million shit. God damn, dude.
Let's see. Crambit, Blue Party, RuneScape, Revenant, Super Carrier. I'm looking at some of the dumb shit people have spent money on. Somebody bought a fucking Ethereal Flames pink war dog from Dota 2 for fucking $38K. Oh no, it was $50,000 for Amsterdam in Second Life. Maybe it was something else. Entropia land deeds for $2,500,000 in total. But they sold 25,000 deeds for land in Entropia.
Wow.
But one guy bought two million worth of them.
Is Second Life even still a thing?
Between like 5 and 5:30, dude. Yeah. Generally, or 4 and 4:30. Sorry, your time.
Yeah, really good. You were right, Dejuan. Yeah, Second Life is still a huge thing.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, dude. But yeah, he'll go in and fuck with them. Like he'll be like, "Oh, can I have one of these
a
dragons?"
Second Life realtor made $1 million. A language teacher sold virtual property and earned $1 million.
Wow, that is so fucking nuts, dude.
But a lot of people use that to justify throwing money at those fucking horrible games. But the reality is, like,
Right.
that's the 1 in 1 million people that ever make any money off of it.
Like, oh wow, I can buy property there and sell it for profit. Sure, you can.
Well, she sells that
Absolutely.
property, and then dozens of other people go in and buy like property at more than it's worth to other people. Like other people might make like $50 off it or something, and then their property is not worth anything no matter what they do because it's the property became that value naturally due to the way the game works. Can you imagine though? You're playing Second Life. You're fucking going through your day, doing whatever, building your house, doing your farming. I don't know what they do in that game. And some homie in the game is like, "Yo, I want to buy your house and the land you're building on your building space." And you're like, "Oh, ha ha ha, funny, whatever. How much? $1 million?" You'd be like, "Fucking."
Sold.
Yeah, you can
Right.
have it
Yeah.
for $1 million. I'll come blow you too. Jesus Christ.
Right. Private regions. I'm looking at it like it seems like this is just what the game initially charged, I guess. And other people probably sell it and buy it. Dude, they have like a price, but then the maintenance fees are like 2/3 of that monthly. So like a full region, it says $349. The maintenance fee monthly is $229. Oh shit, this one's $600, and then monthly is $345 for maintenance. What the fuck, dude?
Wait, what do you got to spend real money to fucking upkeep fucking fake property?
Yes, dude. There's a maintenance fee, and it's like 2/3 of the price. So like again, it's $600.
And this
Is
is
the price.
Second Life?
345 monthly, dude. And I assume this is like if you have, I guess people buy it from there, and it goes up in price or something. But
Is this in Second Life?
I'm pretty sure this was Second Life. Let me see.
Good
Yeah.
fucking God, man, what a scam!
Dude, well, I mean,
Who are
if
they
people are willing
paying
to
the
pay it.
upkeep to? Is there like a fake electric company you got to pay off?
It sounds like it's like some sort of money laundering place.
Yeah, probably.
Because this sounds way too shady.
Yeah, like
Oh,
this
yeah.
is worse than fucking timeshares. At least you get to spend a week of your fucking timeshare every year. God
Yeah,
damn.
it's not like
Well, I
you can
guess.
go drive down to Second Life and live in your fucking fake house for a while.
I remember I was talking to a guy who did a bunch of Second Life outfits, and it's like he did like one pair of women's clothes. It was like a lingerie something or other. He made like $6,000 within 2 weeks. Well, oh, that's not too bad. 6,000, that's pretty good. And it's just digital, whatever. And then like the only thing else he sells is like color variations. So I'm like, okay. So I never looked back into like how did that work. He showed me how to like make them because you just have to make a template and then you load it into the game or something. Problem is I couldn't get it to run because as far as I can tell, Second Life still doesn't run on Mac because I had Macs at the time. That's how I had my Photoshop and everything.
Yeah, I vaguely remember hearing something about it only works on PC.
Yeah, they've never managed to change it as far as I can tell. But then again, I've never really looked into it. Never had a reason to. It's like this game sounds like it makes a ridiculous sum of money, but how come it's like virtually unheard of?
A lot of people know about Second Life, though. It's not really unheard of. It's just not a game that people. It's not a game that people talk about often. I think there's a certain amount of shame generally associated with being really big into Second Life.
Yeah, it's kind of like people that don't advertise the fact that they're heroin addicts. Like it's nothing. Like it's something to be ashamed of.
Well, and there's
like I
people
spent
that use
a lot of money.
VR chat like Second Life, where they basically build a whole, like their entire social structure, everybody they know and deal with in any way, shape, or form is all in VR chat.
Yeah, it's so fucking nuts,
it's
dude.
so divorced from reality. It's like that's why I don't try to date or anything in there. It's like No, I'd rather just meet people in the real world. Like I enjoy what I do, and I know some people on there that are pretty cool, but I'm never gonna make that like my entire existence. You know,
Yeah.
like just work and VR chat, and I never like get to know anyone else ever for any reason.
Okay, well, Second Life it looks like it does run on Mac now, so
Oh,
I guess
nice.
there's no more excuses on that regard. So yeah,
Yeah, you're an artist, Holmes. If you could fucking make shitty fucking outfits for people and make thousands of dollars a month, fucking do it.
well, you see, when I was told that was still in some of the early days of Second Life. I think that there's like everything's been done, so it's like I don't know, man. Things have changed since then. I can tell just by looking at some of these the pictures and screenshots of it that the quality has gone up, and they probably changed their system around. So I
Oh,
mean,
I'm sure the opportunity is still there.
yeah,
Because I
probably.
don't think they've ever been one of those games where they're like, no one's allowed to sell shit for real money. They've always been like, yeah, use our market. As long as we
Yeah,
get a piece of the action, we're good, you know?
yeah, probably.
But yeah, the guy Daniel that goes in and fucks with them, dude. God damn, it's fucking hilarious, dude. Yeah, just him pretending to be ignorant of, like going into like a fucking a sub dom group or whatever, like a BDSM type shit.
Oh, God, I've been
It'll be
invited to
like
a few of
trolling
those
him.
fucking groups.
Yeah, and then one of the subs is like telling him, "Hey, asshole, get the fuck out of here!" And he's like, "Dude, I thought you were a sub. Like, why are you being so aggressive? You're a sub."
Oh, Jesus. I'm sure that goes well. I'm sure the person takes that with,
yeah, dude. Yeah, and then he'll say shit like,
grace.
"Oh, but I'm not in character yet. I'm not in character yet." Like, dude, they get so fucking pissed. They're like, "If you're in here, look, it's not in character, right? This is what we really are." He's like, "No, but I'm not in character yet."
This is what we really are in a digital space, in a video game that's all pretend.
Dude, them threatening to kick his ass is fucking great.
Oh, I fucking
Like, he
love
got
that when
into
I see that on VR chat. Oh, it's my
dude,
absolute fucking favorite when people on the internet are like, "Oh, I'm gonna
dude.
beat you up." No, I'm gonna beat you up, and you're like, "You fucking dummies."
Yeah, it's pretty fucking hilarious. I'm gonna kick your ass. And you're like, yeah, okay. They had some like
Oh,
clubhouse. It looked like a bunch of biker types, like
in VR
trashy
chat,
bitches and fucking.
you get the
No,
added
not
benefit.
oh,
No, in VR chat,
no,
you get
right,
the
right,
added
right.
benefit of people
Right,
when they
right.
want to fight actually swinging their hands at each other because they're wearing the VR headsets and the little fucking handles.
Oh, right.
So you know that somewhere this dumb fucking 13-year-old kid is in his house swinging his arms furiously in the air at nothing. And swearing and cussing up a
awesome,
storm.
dude.
And you just hope his parents walk in at some point and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, that's clearly not good for you. No more VR.
Fuck. Yeah, because there's a lot of places, I guess, in Second Life that you have to like someone has to invite you in usually, but somehow he'll manage to get in, and then he'll act
Oh,
like he
yeah.
didn't know how he got in. Dude, he'll pretend he doesn't know how he got in. It's fucking amazing, dude. They're like, "How'd you get in here?" And like, "I don't know. I think I flew in." Yeah, like he fucking plays dumb, like he has no idea how he got in. Dude, they get so fucking pissed. Yeah, it's fucking amazing, dude.
Man, the two things that are awesome in any digital space like that are the fights and the fucking. The people that are like ERP, erotic roleplay, or whatever, get up to some weird shit. And I'll tell you, nothing is better than VR chat. They don't do it in public rooms as much anymore that I'm aware of. I haven't hung out in just like random public rooms in a long time.
Right. Yeah.
Because I know a fun group of people that do karaoke, and that's I just like do my karaoke. I'm not really making lifelong fucking soulmates on this fucking video game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And dude, there used to be you'd see people just simulating sex for hours at a time, just in the random corner of a fucking like a public world where everybody's just hanging out and chatting and bullshitting with each other. And then you just look over and there's like some sort of fucking fox creature trying to blow some fucking skeleton monster, or something.
Or a fucking dragon or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, furries are never boring shit. They're always like a wolf or a fox or a demon or a dragon or something. You never see like a fucking aardvark,
Yeah.
Like here's the furry sloth,
Yeah. Well, again, I assume it does exist somewhere, but it's not.
Yeah, that's furry. That's furry on hardcore mode.
Yeah.
That's just people. What you've seen so far, that's just people having fun.
Yeah, the real hardcore furries live underground. They're the mole men.
Oh yeah, they fully embrace their moles.
Oh man.
Oh fuck.
Furries
dude.
are kind of fun on VR chat too, because they're awful sensitive, man. Like I don't give a shit. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. I know Satan thinks furries are food, but whatever. I just don't fucking care. As long as you're not actively fucking around with kids or withholding like information like STDs and shit from your partners, then what the fuck ever. It's all good. But they get real sensitive about any joke sometimes. It's kind of sad. It's like, yo, if people weren't joking with you, then they wouldn't think of you as people.
Right.
I mean, this is people offering you the olive branch of like, hey, welcome to the shithole the rest of us live in, motherfucker.
Yeah.
All pissed off over it. It makes you stupid.
Yeah, I get that you take it seriously, but you have to understand that other people think that shit's fucking hilarious, dude.
You're wearing a fucking mascot outfit in a sexual manner. Like, that's fucking hilarious. I mean,
and you're taking
go
shit in the
ahead. I ain't
fucking
just trying to
planters
stop
and
you, but I'm
fucking
gonna
hotels
laugh.
and shit. Because apparently, I don't know if we talked about it before, but like a lot of places, like hotels, whatever, like convention centers, like we're not doing any furry events anymore because they start shitting in the planters and fucking, shitting in random fucking spots.
They still have furry conventions, really big ones, but the furry community in general has, I guess, apparently now moved to like really, really crack down on that shit on their own. So the people that are like shitting in the elevators and like putting diapers that are used on people's cars are not fucking welcome anymore in the furry community in general.
Yeah.
So
good for them.
They tend to shun and especially the fucking kitty fiddlers and shit. They're not having that anymore. That's totally not acceptable by most furries at this point. Because it was starting to get real fucking ridiculous, and a lot of furries who are really well known, like I guess there's a bunch of furry YouTubers, were starting to like talk out against it because it got so bad. Like they had to call it out.
Yeah.
Like, look, we can't.
Just you're giving everybody. Yeah, you're giving that fucking. If you're not doing that shit and you're catching shit from other people because of the stuff they're doing, you're like, fuck you, get the fuck out.
Well,
it makes sense, dude.
What worse shit could you be getting from people than if your community is essentially accused of fucking kids?
Yeah.
That's the kind of hate you don't want directed to your community, because that's the kind of hate that goes past digital sooner or later.
Yeah, and that's the fucked up shit is what most people are going to hear about. Whether it's, again, obviously the diddling kids is the worst, but shitting in public and all that is fucking horrible too. Like, that's what you're going to mostly hear about. So, if I was a furry that was not into that, I'd be like, fuck them.
Yeah, the people putting used diapers on people's car in a parking lot at a fucking hotel because they're mad is hilarious. That's a fucking great story. It's horrific if you're the person whose car it is, but third person, it's fucking funny as hell.
Yeah, as a story, that's fucking hilarious. God damn. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, another one. I don't know if this was Second Life or not, but he went into the spot where he was like in, I guess, pretending to be the owner of like a convenience store or something. And like people would come in and he'd be like, hey, you want a taco? And it would be like poisoned. And they had no way of knowing that it's poisoned. So they'd fucking eat it and then like get sick and die. It's like, such a fucking asshole. And then there was one part where, there were guys that were pretending to be cops, and they're like, all right, put down your weapons and come with us. And he's like, it's like, or what? And they're like, what do you mean? What's going to happen? He's like, well, you're going to drop your weapons, and then we're going to take you to jail. And he's like, that doesn't sound like a good deal to me. That sounds like a bad deal. Like, he's just like, yeah. Like, the other ones are still trying to be in character and shit. Yeah, that's fucking funny. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. That sounds terrible. Yeah, they get so pissed, dude. It's fucking hilarious.
I knew somebody who was a police chief on a fucking GTA 5 server. Apparently there's a lot of roleplay servers that GTA 5 players get on together. And they do all sorts of weird, crazy roleplay shit. And so this guy was the police chief for one of them. And it was funny as hell if you were talking to the dude while he was on the game. Because every once in a while he'd turn around and be like, oh, we got a 1080 in progress. We're going to need, Officer, Smith and Jones, please converge on this area. You're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Dude. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, okay. I just posted one of them. This is relatively short. There's a part in there, I don't know, like a minute or two in, where he's got this fucking, like, panel van driving around, and it's just got, like, a loudspeaker that's saying, vote for Daniel, vote for Daniel. And it's fucking obnoxious, dude, and people are so fucking pissed, dude. They're like, turn that shit off. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm running for president. You gonna vote for me? Like, he just acts like he's fucking... There's totally nothing wrong with it. They get so fucking pissed. It's funny. He's like, okay, I'll leave. And then he's like running over half of...
He's basically like a professional gaslighter.
Yeah.
He's going in and gaslighting these people.
Yeah, except you don't feel bad for him because they all take it way too fucking seriously.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. It's just like, you get to go in and fuck with people. It's part of life.
Yeah, or like he would like have a taxi and he'd be driving them and they'd be like, all right, stop here, and he'd just keep driving, go like way past it, and then act like he fucked up. He'd go, oh fuck, okay, do I need to turn around? And then he'd like drive into the fucking ocean. Is this right? Like, no, I'm dead now, asshole. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Did you died? It's so unfortunate. I'm trying to feel bad. I'm not
Yeah,
managing
dude, he's got a guy. He goes up to him and he's like, hey, can I go fishing with you? And the guy's like, no. And then the dude's in a boat and he fucking shoots him. He shoots the dude and he's like, okay, can I go fishing with you? He's like, no, you shot me. He's like, oh, okay, sorry. Like, fucking prick, dude.
Oh, clever lad.
But yeah, no, the one where it's so loud. Vote for Daniel! Vote for Daniel! It's fucking over and over again.
I mean,
they're like, kill that guy. He's the one that's doing it. Kill that guy.
If nobody knows about you, how are they going to vote for you in the election?
Yeah, got to get the word out.
Yeah.
And one guy, it was like the guy that he fucking dropped that guy off, and then he like followed him. He's like, yeah, no, just drop me off here. And then fucking the guy takes off, and he's like, I don't know, hanging out behind a bush somewhere. And Daniel goes up to him like, hey, is this thing on? Mic check. He's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Get out of here. And then he ends up like, he's literally like, I told you 4 times already. You come near me again, I'm going to shoot you.
Oh, man.
Or one of the guys like at an ATM and like he came up behind him and he goes, hands up. And like he didn't even have any weapon out, or Daniel didn't have any weapon out, and the guy turns around and hands up, and he pulls out a gun. And he's like, oh, no, I don't even have a gun. And he's like, it's all right. And then the dude puts the gun away, and then Daniel pulls out the fucking gun. Pulls out a gun. Okay, no, really. For reals this time. Hands up. And then I think the guy shot him.
Oh yeah. I'm sure Daniels gets his character killed in those games quite a lot.
Dude, there was I can't find the video, so I don't know where the fuck it's at. But there was this group that was doing like a whole military play shit, right? Where everybody's different and all that shit. And they basically, the guys that were like higher ups there in charge of it or whatever, invited him in to fuck with this one dude.
Oh, and they thought it was just going to be him fucking with that one dude. They didn't realize that he was.
No, he
gonna...
did. He did. But that dude he would be so fucking mad because he would deliberately, fuck shit up and act like it was an accident or whatever, the way he normally does. But what's really fucked up is because those other guys, brought him in to do that. It literally got to the point where that guy got demoted and they promoted Daniel above him. He was so fucking pissed, dude. It was fucking hilarious. Obviously, they, let him in on it eventually, but like, this guy's taking it too seriously. Let's fuck with him. Like, I know we're all taking it seriously, but this guy.
That guy thinks he's actually in the military. We gotta do something about that. You know the thing that gets me about that is, why wouldn't you just kick him out of the group? Just be like, I'm sorry, man. Like, this is way too serious for you, and we're not into that. Like, for your own good, you're out, man.
Yeah. Like, we're taking it pretty seriously, but like, you're making it not fun for the rest of us with how serious you're taking it.
Yeah, like I played with people on when I still played Sea of Thieves that would they would only talk like a pirate while they were in the game. And that's cute for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, then it just gets fucking annoying.
Yeah, but a lot of those things a lot of the missions you had to do in Sea of Thieves, you literally had to spend like 4 or 5 hours in game to do. And you're dealing with a group of 4 people, and you're all on your mics all the time. Nobody's muted most of the time because you have to communicate a lot in order to get this stuff done quick and like without losing your shit to other people robbing you.
Right.
So, like, they really, like that gets real fucking old really, really quick when somebody's like, "Arr, matey, we going up the yard arm," and you're like, "Shut the fuck up." Like, at a certain point.
Stop. Like, seriously, just give us like
you're not
5
a pirate
minutes.
and it's hour 3. My patience is over.
Yeah, like, give us like 5-10 minutes of just being a normal dude, and then like you can go back to it, or if you want. We'd prefer you don't. But it's getting fucking old, and we hate you.
Yar, you wish the parlay?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's more like, you're in the middle of a battle, and they're like, avast, we brigands on the port side, and you're like, motherfucker, say left and right, you motherfucker. Like, we don't have time for this shit. Nobody wants to learn port and stern. Get the fucking stop. Or
I'm just being historical here.
Yeah, it's so obnoxious.
Sounds funny. I got that
scurvy going on, but I don't know. I still think the funniest thing in that game ever was it was like 2 a.m. Here, so I can only imagine what time it was where this kid was, and he just we were sailing along doing our thing. And suddenly we just hear somebody screaming "Ree," like "Ree" at the top of their lungs, like as loud as they can humanly scream. Because like the voice sort of gets all stressed when you get to that level of volume.
Yeah,
it starts to kind of get weird sounding, and it was all like that and distorted over the microphone. Just suddenly out of like the fucking fog, this boat cuts us off doing that. And then starts shooting at us. Like, we fucking destroyed them because they were obviously morons. But, like, it was just like one of those moments where, like, we all sat after that. We're like, dude, it is 2 a.m. That kid's parents must absolutely hate life. And his neighbors must hate their parents. Because, Jesus Christ, he just for, like, a good minute. Like... Oh, it's part of why they lost, because he wasn't even involved in the fight. He just had his character sitting on the front of their boat screaming. Like,
announcing their fucking presence, dude.
Like, they're all trying to, shoot cannons at us, and we're like, well, there's only 3 of them fighting. Let's take them out.
Right. Yeah, the other guy's just screaming. I guess we can leave
kill him or even bother doing anything. He's just sitting there reeing as loud as he can.
Yeah, we can kill him last.
And... That was actually a fun game at the time it came out. It's sad it got way too complicated and the player base died.
Yeah, it sounds like they really fucked that one up.
Well, you know, everybody got like to Pirate Legend, and then they were like, "Guess what? New Pirate Legend is exactly that far away. We have to get 50 more levels and everything." And so it's like, oh, so all that shit that people didn't matter. All right.
Yeah, it's been a bunch of time maxed out, doing a bunch of shit that ended up not counting towards this new
towards
level.
your next level, and you're like, I would have easily been like close to that level, like Pirate Legend, the next max level, had you guys been like letting me build experience for the last month.
No.
Yeah, that was not cool.
No, we don't make nearly as much money that way, so no.
Oh no, they actually weren't too bad. So the Sea of Thieves, the one thing that they did have integrity on was there was nothing you could buy that would make you win.
All right,
It
nice.
was literally only skins, or you could buy like different kinds of pets and stuff. But the pets don't do anything; they're just visually like pleasing. They're just visual aesthetics. And then the same with all the skins for like the boat and your character and their weapons. But the functionality of the weapons was the same for everybody, so it really was just you're either good at the game or you're not. Period. Which was really nice.
Yeah, that is pretty fucking
I don't
weird.
know that I could really claim that they were money grubbing.
Yeah, they weren't doing a bunch of microtransactions, selling shit.
Well, they were doing microtransactions to sell shit. They just weren't selling anything that would change the effect of the gameplay.
Not doing pay-to-win microtransactions.
No pay to win. None at all. It was very
Speaking of microtransactions and everything like that, have you guys heard about all the shit going on with Dungeons and Dragons?
I know they're coming out with a new movie, but that's all I knew. I didn't know that they had anything else going on.
So there's this new person in charge at Wizards of the Coast, and that's all owned by Hasbro and all that. And apparently they're coming out with these new rules, these new things in regards to people who are like content creators, people who do YouTube channels and Twitch channels and do Kickstarters and all that. Because apparently they want in on that money.
Oh, they decided they could just take money from YouTubers?
Yeah. Content creators and everything. So I think,
and I'm
part
guessing
of the reason
they're trying to do it retroactively because that's the kind of scummy shit that I could see them doing.
Yeah, so
the Coast has always been shitty.
Well, they've been real shitty, and they've gotten worse because the person in charge is this woman who used to work for Microsoft, and she was big in the whole microtransactions thing.
Fuck yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Hire some cunt from Microsoft. Microsoft is trying to buy up a bunch of shit right now in the gaming area.
Of course they are. That's their whole thing.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing is going on there. And how it works is that they're essentially going to take about like 20-something% of all the money that you make for your content, which is quite something. That's using their...
the only thing that's going to happen is that a lot of people are just going to stop making content from anything with Wizards of the Coast.
Well, and maybe, and that could be. Now they're saying like it's only going to affect certain people because you have to make a certain amount of money before they start, taking some of that from you. The problem with that is that there's only like a handful of creators who make that much money, like Critical Role and a couple other people. So they really don't make huge amounts of money. Yeah, it sounds like there's some jobs losing.
Sorry, guys.
Well, also community. Like your community's not going to be thrilled that you're fucking over their favorite creators, who essentially sell your product for free. Like you're already getting free fucking advertising with these people. Critical Role has definitely brought. I mean, I would say at least 10 times the amount of business to D&D compared to like how much they make.
So I think
that's like, absolutely disgusting. The community is going to fucking hate Wizards of the Coast.
Well, and they already are because the backlash has been really phenomenal. What happened was that this hasn't been put into action yet. It's been leaked that way they can test how the audience is going to react.
Well, and not only that, I don't think legally they even have a good grounds to stand on.
Well, and there you go.
Role is 100% not. Like that's all content they're making. Like the D&D stuff is just a really, really minor part of it. The majority of what makes that show interesting and watchable is the weird shit they come up with. And that's not from D&D. That's not Wizards of the Coast. They're coming out of their own fucking heads. So,
some
it's
people,
not like there's any sort of copyright claim to be made there.
right? Well, and part of the reason why they're bringing this up is also because like the people like Critical Role, they make a fair bit of money in like donations and stuff and advertisements on their thing, and that's money that Wizards of the Coast isn't getting.
Yeah,
they're not getting
they should
any
be
of
making that money because everything they're doing is something that they're creating.
Yeah, that's right. I agree, but the argument is that
I hate Critical Role, by the way. I don't like them. Just
I find
they should be making money. They're making entertainment, and it's all from them.
Yeah, like they're making money. Good for them. I think whether you like them or not, at least they're creating something, and I think success is good. So I'm happy that they're making money, and of course they also did a Kickstarter to try and raise to make an animated series.
Yeah, they put out a season of an animated show. I used to be into Critical Role, but their stuff just gets so repetitive that I can't fucking stand it anymore. It's just the same shit over and over because there's only so creative people can get. But a lot of people love that show, and it blows my mind because, I mean, I guarantee like however much money, like let's say Critical Role over the course of a year makes $1 million, which really, when you consider how many people are probably involved, isn't really that much to go around. There's at least like 20 or 30 different cast members all together that they play with, and then you would assume maybe 2 or 3 times that many behind the scenes.
Well, they have to hire.
You gotta pay like 40 or 50 people out of that $1 million. That drops really, really fast.
Yeah, well, because you got set designs, you have camera work, you have lighting.
Plus they have like real sets and real studios that they shoot in and stuff, and it's not like just somebody's fucking garage. Yeah, that $1 million goes away really, really quick. A lot quicker than a lot of people might think.
And then if you take away,
I guarantee they've generated at least $10 million in sales for that $1 million they're making every year. And that's
probably
for free. That costs Wizards of the Coast absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
so and it's like, man, you guys just fucking took that golden goose and just jammed your fucking dick in it to kill it and just raped it to death.
Well, that's kind of what they do. Yeah, that's what they're known for. Wizards of the Coast is owned by Hasbro, and Hasbro themselves is a shitty company that's been doing a lot of shitty things.
Kind of like Nintendo in respects to like just don't fucking seem to understand like YouTube and how it works.
Well, I mean, they're not making as much money as they think that they should be. They should be making a fair bit more. But you look at all these content creators, like playing their games and doing all this stuff, and they're making all this money that they would normally be making in advertising sales and whatnot, but they're not. And so they're big competitors. Because the other thing is like some people will play games, some people want to watch people play games. Well, Nintendo would rather you be playing their games because then that's content that. Or at least that's something that they get out of it.
Translate into sales by taking away somebody else's money.
Yeah, they seem to be of the opinion that by doing Let's Plays, that people are going to not buy the game that would have bought the game, and I don't think that's true. There might be certain people that are like that, but I don't think that's the case. I think far more people are likely to buy it.
Plays where I didn't buy the game. Generally just like because it's not my style of game, but I've also watched Let's Plays where I'm like, man, that game looks awesome, and then I go out and buy the game. So I mean,
yeah, it's advertising, really. That's why I don't get it. I'm like, dude, there's going to be way more. Yeah, there's going to be some people that are like, I'm not going to bother playing it now, and I might have bought it.
If they're smart,
but way more are going to be like, yeah, I'm going to play that now. That looks like fucking fun.
If they're smart,
I want to play that myself.
Is they pay them a small amount of money to play the game and ask them just don't shit on our game. Like play it, be honest about issues and this and that and the other thing. If you do see some issues, like be willing to point them out. But just don't dump on our game like it's the worst game you've ever played.
But yeah,
and then they pay them to wanting to fucking, But like it makes more sense because ultimately like all these channels are just free advertisement for the companies. Like it's free advertising that you're not having to pay anybody for.
And it could be that they just don't see it that way because I mean, like if they want to be able to control the advertisement because they, like you were saying earlier, they don't want you. Please don't shit on our game. But I mean, like, no one's under a contract, so then of course they will show them the game if they want to. And sometimes it works in their favor, sometimes it doesn't. And so that could be the other reason why they want to crack down, because it's like, please don't hurt our bottom line by shitting on our game.
If your game is getting shit on by people, you should take that as an opportunity to improve the game. And companies that have done that have responded to like what is it? No Man's Sky, I want to say.
No Man's Sky, yeah.
Where like when it came out, everybody was like, "This is fucking trash," and they said, "Well, shit." And they went back and they worked on it for a year, and they put a bunch of shit out that people actually wanted in the game. And now, as far as I am aware, a lot of people really, really like that game.
Yeah, and a big problem was that one of the guys that was doing like the programming and all that shit was also doing a bunch of press and promising shit that, you know, he shouldn't have been promising, and, you know, all this other shit.
Overselling it, oversell, where you're selling shit you don't actually have yet.
But, yeah, to his credit, he fucking went back in after the fact and fucking corrected all the fucked up shit, and fucking, now it's fucking, it came out as positive. But he did a lot of shit wrong, but he also made it right.
And then look at Sonic, awesome. Sonic, the movie that came out, and or not the movie, but originally they put out the concept art for Sonic, and everybody was like, God, that's horrific. So they changed it, and everybody was like, that looks really good. And then everybody went and saw the movie. You know, it's like,
they went back and,
you should welcome the people that shit on your product, especially early on when you still have time to change it.
Yeah, and if a lot of people don't like it, if it looks fucking creepy to people, make it to where it doesn't look creepy anymore. Yeah, that was like another good example of that.
Well, to circle back on the whole...
put out and say, fuck the customer. Fucking fix it.
Exactly. Well, to circle back on the whole D&D thing, part of the other problem that was brought up was Kickstarter, because D&D, they can only afford to publish so many books. And so they only publish about a couple different like game books and whatnot a year. Yeah. But independent creators can publish multiple books by multiple different publishers and all that, because you can do it through it. So like for every one book that's
officially from Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, they publish one. There's going to be 8 others, and so instead of buying their one book, you're out getting like a Kickstarter and all that. So that's also revenue that they're not getting. And so they and some people
different. If people are making a product based entirely on their system of rules, their game that they've developed, that's a whole different thing than YouTubers that are just doing D&D games on YouTube.
Well, it is different.
If it's the YouTuber that's doing both, it's fine if you're going after the stuff that's on Kickstarter. It doesn't make sense to also try to go after the YouTube money, because those are two drastically different things.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, especially for the shit where they had to pay production and all this other shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, wanting a cut without contributing to the production cost seems especially messed up.
Well, for YouTube,
you know what I mean?
Like the Kickstarter stuff, that makes perfect sense. Like you're making a D&D module, so like of course you should have to pay some sort of licensing fee for that. And that makes perfect sense, just for them to come in and say, hey, we want 20% of whatever your sales are for this. Like, you're welcome to use the D&D stuff, and you can use our game system and all that other shit to make your D&D module that you're then going to sell, publicly to other people. But you have to pay us a portion of your profits in order to do that and have our name. And be allowed to use our stuff. Not our name, because obviously, But I mean, that makes sense. But like the stuff where it's like somebody came up with this random crazy shit on their own, and they're running it on a D&D show to like advertise D&D and to increase the community, because a lot of the creators that I've seen, because I used to play D&D when I was younger, a lot of the creators in that scene, from what I understand, are basically just trying to like get more people into the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can't see past the greed. They're like, no, we got to get some of that money.
Yeah, I'll have to go and.
Well, I think Hasbro, like I said, has been having some financial problems. I think part of the reason for that is the manufacturing of their products, like toys and games and stuff, has been like deeply affected by international shipping and all that, because it used to be like it was, let's say, like $10,000 to get a shipping container, and then you fill it with whatever. Now that's actually pretty cheap for them. They could actually get multiple shipping containers, get multiple goods, but then the price has gone up by about 100%. So now they can barely afford to get product on there and get it out there and get it shipped. Now, part of the other problem for that is a lot of local things like manufacturers to make toys and stuff. They're not really local anymore. And books, they have a hard time getting those too. Most major companies that print books are in China, believe it or not. Every comic book you get and all that, almost all of them are printed in China. The ones that are printed here locally are usually done by Kickstarters and stuff like that. And they're getting small press companies to do it for them. So it's quite something. So they need to find a way to make a profit, because unfortunately they're getting screwed over on the international shipping, and because of the green environmental people, they're trying to stop the manufacturing of oil and other such products that we use to make plastics and stuff, which is what they make toys and action figures out of. It's real hard to be a toy company, and so I'm actually not surprised that all this is happening. It's probably even going to get worse, especially with all this international stuff going on. So, like, I hate it, but then deep down, this is all connected. So, not to mention, I mean, we need to figure out, because I don't know if you guys, I heard an interesting video from Joe Rogan, and he brought a guy on talking about how, like, China only really has, like, 10 years left, and then it's done for.
Well,
yeah, it's a bit of a paper tiger, as they say.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, you can print money all you want, but if you don't actually have the resources to make that money have any value, sooner or later it falls apart.
Yeah. Well, in China's case, like from what I heard, is that they just will not have the population. They like.
Oh yeah, it's a combination of a lot of factors. Yeah, that's part of it. It's the population, but also it's the fact that there just isn't anything to back up their money. So sooner or later, it's going to go back to barter, like whether they want it to or not, and that's when everything is going to go to hell.
Oh yeah,
because the people that live near the farms, they can barter for food real easily. The people in the big cities where there is no farm anywhere near, like, they're just going to starve to death.
Well, China's, from what I've heard, they're going to starve to death regardless. Because part of the problem with China is that, from what I heard, and this makes total sense to me, is that they had that whole one-child policy. You guys remember hearing about that? You can only have one kid because they were afraid of overpopulation. Well, because of that, because in China they have that tradition where your kids have to take care of your parents when they get old, and so like little girls can't contribute that much money, so then they prioritize boys. So they'd often abort girls and all that, and so the ones who did have girls, then there weren't that many. So a good portion of the population is mostly male. Well, so there's not enough women to help regain the population, but then women are also fully aware that they're a minority, and as such they're high value. So a lot of women out there are waiting for rich, wealthy suitors.
Which just there aren't any. Because you're a communist fucking country.
Well, I mean, there are some.
Compared to, even as rare as women are, there just aren't that many men that are going to fit that profile, even for a smaller amount of women.
Well, they do have a type of pseudo-capitalism, so they do have businesses, they do have government leaders. And
no, I'm just saying, like, the amount of women may be a minority, but the amount of men who fit whatever that ridiculous standard they have is probably a much, much more extreme minority.
Exactly.
That makes more sense. No. Maybe I just wasn't putting it right, yeah.
No. That's exactly what I was going to be saying, like, because that is what's going on.
Because that's what happens here a lot, too.
Yeah, well, because there's a lot of women who are just waiting for Mr. Right, and it's
Mr.
just not
Rich,
going to...
Let's not lie.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Mr. Right is Mr. Rich, and so they're waiting and waiting and waiting because they know that they're a minority, and they know guys, don't have a lot to go from. But all those rich, wealthy guys, they already got their wives, and they probably already have their lovers.
Well, and a 6 isn't really appealing to somebody who has a lot of money.
Exactly. So I mean, like they could travel and they could get like lovers anywhere they want. So these women are holding out. And so the women aren't having sex with the guys, and the guys aren't having sex with women because there's not enough there to do the job. So it's just not going to work.
Yep.
And that's what's happening in China right now. So no one's having sex, no one's returning, no one has a population. So in 10 years, they're just going to age themselves out, and they're done for. So China, it doesn't have long to live. That's pretty much the short and sweet of the whole thing.
Well, that's why they have a couple military bases in the U.S. I have no doubt in my mind how they intend to resolve that issue.
They can't. And then of course
that doesn't mean they won't try.
Well, I think they've just given up, and now they're just on like go out in the blaze of glory, because they can saber out all they want, and they don't really have the like they have some military might. Don't get me wrong, but they don't have as much as they think they do.
And I'm just saying, desperate people do desperate shit, so don't expect that to end peacefully.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So like,
I don't think they may not necessarily come after us specifically in the Western world, but Taiwan, Indonesia,
they could take
all those areas around them with very little to no military power are definitely up for fucking for whatever. Like they'll invade them, no problem.
Let's grant like China every positive military thing. Let's say they get everything. They take Taiwan. Even if they even take over the world, let's say they're still done for. They didn't.
No, I don't think it'll necessarily matter as to the future of the country. I'm just saying this is probably things that they will do.
Yeah.
Like
they probably will.
Countries don't die peacefully. They die fucking stabbing at every other person on their way down, clawing and scrapping. They're unfortunate reality. It's just, the reality is powerful people don't want to die alone, so they'll drag everybody they can with them.
Mm-hmm. So,
look at Khmer Rouge. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. They're like millions of people died in the Khmer Rouge. Or not millions, it was a fucking lot. Like, there's whole fucking rooms full of skulls and shit from the Khmer Rouge.
The Khmer Rouge, is that Pol Pot? Is that what you're thinking of?
Yes, that's when basically, I believe it was in Cambodia, where they were like, basically
I'm pretty sure.
You're all going to go out and be farmers now. Don't care what you were doing before, whether you have any farming skills or not. Everybody's a farmer now. And so it was like everybody, like including doctors and lawyers and architects.
Yeah, didn't they start actively killing like intellectuals?
No, they started killing them. Yeah, they started killing.
Yeah, yeah. Anything remotely intellectual, you're just die. We don't want any part of that.
They must have spent a lot of time and a lot of effort to train that many really, really stupid people to murder those really smart people. Because you got to be real fucking dumb to think like, oh yeah, nothing's gonna go wrong if we kill all the doctors. Like like engineers. Who needs them?
Yeah, we're all going to farm now, so...
Yeah, we'll have everything we need.
Which could happen. Who knows? I think that
people have a delusional idea of how easy it is to farm. Farming is extremely labor-intensive unless you have really, really good tech. It's a lot of labor involved, and there's not a lot of profit in it. So it's pretty thankless work. I mean, it's one of those things like people do it as a hobby now. Like they go and they're like, I'm gonna make a homestead and I'm gonna grow all my own food. And even then, they generally don't really grow all their own food. They usually like get money from either working or like the ones you see on YouTube. They're making money to support that homestead off of YouTube. Otherwise, they would not be able to live that way. They're buying a substantial portion of their food, even with their giant, fancy-looking, YouTube farms.
Yeah, that's why I like get irritated by like people like Owen Benjamin who are telling other people to do what they're doing. People that don't have the income from YouTube and other shit like that.
Yeah, Owen Benjamin's got all that fucking money from working in Hollywood and YouTube and everything. Yeah. It's like, that's why you can afford to go out and live in the middle of nowhere and grow like 6 carrots over the course of the year and not have to, and just buy everything else from the fucking local farmer's market,
Yeah, yeah. Most other people that don't have money from YouTube and all that are going to be able to have a fucking gang of alpacas that they're fucking raising or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. The
You
amount of
just
money
need,
you have to sink into a herd of animals to own a herd of animals is pretty substantial.
yeah, yeah.
you just need to put in a good YouTube video, and then make your million, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
guys
like
should all do what I
what's
did.
the other one? It's like a lot of the van life people, like they're just putting up a facade in order to make money off of it.
Yeah, yeah. I remember
Yeah.
that fucking Janelle Eliana bitch somehow had like millions of subscribers after like fucking 2 videos,
Oh yeah. Bottle or subs.
pretending to fucking live in a van with her albino python and fucking yeah. It's like, bitch, you ain't living in that shit. You just had rich parents that fucking paid off YouTube to get you a huge fucking following out of nowhere.
Well, I think they wanted to try and when I say they, I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat there. I'm going to say certain wealthy individuals. They want to take all the land and take all the stuff, and so they don't want people to actually own land because, believe it or not, owning property like your house or anything like that.
Yeah. They want to own your property.
Yeah, they want to own all that stuff. So I mean, to own your own stuff, that's dangerous. So because they want to own all that, and then
Yeah, it's a
Heard about
threat to them.
BMW?
Yeah.
what
Speaking
what
of owning your own
BMW?
property, you've heard about the new way they're doing stuff now in BMW. They're trying it out overseas right now, but essentially, you buy a vehicle, but if you want any of the extras that are supposed to come with that vehicle, that you technically already paid for, you have to pay a subscription service.
Yeah.
So if you want like remote start or you want the thing where it parks your car for you or whatever, you paid to have all that stuff installed into your car and it's already part of the car when you bought it, but you still have to pay them a monthly fee to use it.
Yeah, that's pretty
Which I
fucking
don't know
disgusting, dude.
that's necessarily going to work in the U.S. because you own the property and they're basically withholding functionality of something you bought outright. So I don't know how that might work as a lease. Like you can lease it at a basic rate, but then if you want the extra stuff, you got to pay more money on your lease or something. I could see that working. But as far as like if you've bought the car, I can't see them being allowed to withhold functionality of a vehicle you already own.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
without
pretty
some serious
fucking.
pushback legally speaking. But you never know. I mean, who knows how that works out? They bribe the right officials. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was gonna say they'll fucking get the laws written the way they want because politicians are bought and paid for.
Which is why I don't know that any of these issues can really be resolved in a peaceful manner. Unfortunately, I don't know that this is I don't think that where we are now can be fixed by like voting and debate and discussion. And it just doesn't seem like it's
seems the way it's headed, unfortunately. Again, not condoning it, but it doesn't seem
I'm
like
certainly
there's.
not encouraging anybody to go out and do anything crazy.
Yeah. I don't want anyone fucking suffering for this, but they're seeming to leave people no alternatives, man.
Well, and the food shortages that are going to come here in the next like year or so are going to be pretty fucking rough. They only produced about half the amount of food they normally produce on all the farms and ranches and stuff. So people think that that's just a bunch of tinfoil hat nonsense. You're going to be fucked. Like that's not.
Yeah.
It's not a joke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just an amazing coincidence that like a fucking dozen food processing plants have gone tits up in the last year.
Oh, it's not even food processing. I mean, literally, like they only.
Yeah, it's actually production. Yeah,
they only got 60% of the normal amount of cattle for the last year. So
damn, dude.
40% of the cattle we would normally have are just gone. Wheat and rice and stuff like that, similar numbers, like 40%, 38% short. That's pretty massive amounts. Like we're gonna have real serious food shortages. Like people are gonna starve to death.
That was the idea.
Terrifying, dude.
Yeah. Well, I hope that stuff, if that does start happening, people recognize, like the World Economic Forum is part of the thing that pushes behind this, and then make sure that those people don't have to worry about food anymore again, ever.
Yeah, Klaus Schwab should be taken out. Yeah, or the next meeting or whatever.
Look, if somebody had
some
a list
unfortunate
of the World Economic
tragedy
Forum
were
and
to
killed everybody
befall
in it,
the next meeting.
if somebody found a list and took out all the World Economic Forum, we'd be fine. Like, there wouldn't be as many issues to worry about.
You say that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think if you cut the head off the snake dies. That's generally how it works.
Well, he's
or the rest of the snake finally learns to fear reprisal.
Retribution.
Well, he's really just the guy in charge. He's not really like because he's got all these different people.
The World Economic Forum is not one guy. It's literally hundreds of people, dude.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's the figurehead.
It's the figurehead of like every company. It's not just the one like for one company. That's why it would be effective, I think, because you're not doing like. It's not like one person getting whacked. It'd be like, oh, suddenly the economic elite are just short 90% of their fucking people. Like, that's what I think needs to happen. I think the poor need to overthrow the wealthy again, because it just sort of seems to need to happen every once in a while to reset the
when the corruption gets bad enough that they start fucking with the literally rigging elections and fucking.
Well, even beyond that, you've got a class of people that don't have to follow any of the laws.
Yeah, and again, they have no fear
whoever they want, rape whoever they want,
repression.
destroy anybody's life, and there's no reprisals for that. Like, that becomes a real serious issue.
Yeah. No, it's the whole idea. Government should fear its people. People shouldn't fear their government.
Yeah. So don't go out and do anything crazy. Just make sure you have your Second Amendment rights and you exercise them, so you can defend yourself when it gets to the point where you have no other option.
And it is encouraging that the Supreme Court seems to be knocking down all the Second Amendment violations going on.
Yeah, didn't they just rip the ATF's ability to regulate a lot of shit? They just said, yeah, you don't get to do that anymore. Bye bye.
Yeah. Shit. They're like, this should have never been. You should have never been you never had this power. Like, you should not have been able to do any of this.
And then Oregon tried to pass a permit to purchase law, where you would need to go and get a permit in order to purchase weapons. Like, that's just blatantly bullshit. Like, there's no question that violates the Constitution.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need a permit to buy a firearm because it's a right, not a fucking privilege. You need a permit to drive a car because that's not a right. So yeah, that was insane. That got struck down, obviously. But we should probably wrap this up, and just to wrap it up on a less fucking dire note. Did y'all hear the fucking STD Geico case?
No.
So I forget what state it was in, but some fucking bitch was fucking some dude in a car, and it was insured by Geico, and she got something. Let's say chlamydia. I don't know what it was. But she somehow managed to parlay that through a arbitration thing into a $5.2 million settlement where fucking Geico was responsible for her STD.
Wow.
And, so that went through a bunch of different fucking appeals and up and higher courts until it reached the Supreme Court for the state it was in. That's why I wish I remembered which state. But it reached their Supreme Court, and their Supreme Court was like, nah, we're going to let that go. We're going to overturn the arbitration agreement and make you guys go to a real trial where Geico gets to defend themselves. Because Geico apparently wasn't allowed much, if any, defense in the arbitration. So, because clearly, anybody that hears that is like, well, I mean, I hate big corporations like Geico, but for fuck's sake, that, she fucked some dude in a car. That's nothing to do with Geico.
Yeah, how is that Geico's fucking problem?
Yeah, you can't charge them for the fucking, money for that. But I thought that was kind of funny that they got overturned. And that it went that far is just silly and ridiculous.
Yeah. That's pretty fucking absurd, but sounds like eventually fucking got righted.
Yeah. Well, it's still to be determined, but I'd be really shocked Because the public outcry is there too, supporting that gets overturned. I'd be pretty stunned if it didn't go Geico's way in the next court trial, and then never go anywhere after that. Like whatever appeals the lady files, just are going to fall on deaf ears.
Yeah. No, that's an utterly absurd fucking thing. Yeah. Again, no fan of corporations either.
Like,
but
Geico's responsible for whether or not you wrapped your dick before you stuck it in her.
Right.
They're gonna have to put condom dispensers on cars now if you want to get insurance.
Well, that's one of those features you're gonna get, a little subscription.
Yeah, you gotta pay a fucking subscription fee to get condoms in your car, so you can fuck in your car and not have to.
You gotta get tested for STDs before you get a policy. Yeah, you gotta get tested, make sure you're clean before you get a policy.
Absolutely. You shouldn't be giving them these kind of ideas, but here we are.
Yep, let's get them ready. All right. On that positive note, much more positive note than we were at before. I see we call it a day. We're a little bit over time. It's time to roll out, and I gotta pee really bad.
Gotcha.
All right. So yeah.
All right.
If anybody stuck around, I don't think we checked the chat at all. So our apologies if anybody stuck around.
I was
but we
watching
do
chat,
appreciate it.
Nobody.
Nobody. All right. Well.